Joe, Dylan, Steve. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chomp Chain with a Chomp Chain podcast. Chomp Chain with a Chomp Chain podcast. Chomp Chain with a Chomp Chain podcast. Chomp Chain with a Chomp Chain podcast.
Ooh, spooky podcast.
Spooky podcast.
Episode 13. The darkest of episodes.
Recorded on.
October 13th. Yeah, we haven't done that since like that first episode.
Yeah.
Where I set it like an alarm clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
October 13th, 2015.
Okay, yeah, welcome.
Yeah. Let's get in the cut.
At Podcast Chomp on Twitter.
Of course, as always, at Podcast Chomp.
Do we have anything else we should like get out of the way? That we're never prepared.
No. That's
We
our
do
thing.
a countdown and then but we're still not prepared.
Yeah, we
when
do a
start
countdown.
recording. It's fine.
You could probably just hit record
What do you
like without telling us, and then it would be just the same.
I like the countdown though.
Me too.
Kind of gets me ready.
Sure. Put you in the zone.
It gives me 3 seconds to get ready.
Yeah, 3 whole.
Yeah, I'm like, I got all day to think about
You were
it.
gonna move the mic.
Oh fuck! I
Kinda
already
just
did.
have to.
I know.
Sometimes.
It's fine. I can get like, for those listening, I'm now in Joe's chair basically with him.
Steve's head's on my shoulder.
No, we can keep it stationary. I'm sorry about that.
It's gonna happen.
I
It's
moved
alright.
it too already a little bit.
You did. No,
But I can,
It's hard.
I can
It's
move
just-
it back.
it's
Welcome
and
to Chomp Chain Mudcast, where we tell you about our microphones that we're using.
we only have 2, but
It's a
there are 4
natural-
of us. It's a fucking...
No,
It's an issue.
there's actually only
It's
2 of
just-
us.
it-
We just do voices.
I think it brings more like closeness between us, physically, and emotionally.
Right.
Right, for sure.
because we're on the verge of kissing every episode.
Yes.
I've kissed Steve at least
Yeah.
once.
full on the mouth.
We weren't even recording either.
No,
Do you guys like video games?
no.
Not as much as I like kissing.
Whoa.
All right, Dylan,
Yes, sir.
I like film more.
Joe.
Wait. Can I just tell you one thing
Okay.
before we go on? You said we were going to shit around for a couple minutes. We usually shit around for like 5 minutes.
We usually shit around for like 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hold on. Let me get off topic for a second. I watched the movie Creep on Netflix last night.
Is that Radiohead documentary?
No. God no. Have you ever seen the show The League?
It's just the music video.
Oh, okay. The movie what?
The show The League on
Yeah.
FX.
Yeah.
Starring sports fans.
Nothing like that.
It's not Kroll. It's not the fucking schmuck who lied about 9/11.
Steve Rendazisi.
It's the other one.
Yes, okay.
The other like famous guy in that.
Yeah.
He is
Wait, hold on. Andre, the one with the gap tooth?
not Andre
Okay.
and not Taco. The other one.
Okay, yeah.
Just like the
His
boring
name's
guy.
Pete, I think, in the show.
Pete. It is Pete. You're right.
Yeah.
It's Pete is the main character in Creep. He's the creep. Dude, I don't want to spoil anything about this movie. It's like 80 minutes long. Just fucking watch it. It is the most bizarre, hard to watch film I've ever seen in my entire life, but it's very, very good.
It's a horror movie?
Yeah, but it's like really, it has some parts that are really funny too, but it's very scary. And it's like very jumpy, and it's just fucking insane. Like it's the most bizarre thing I've ever fucking seen. It's on Netflix. Go give it a watch. That's
Tis
all I'm
the
going to say about
season.
it. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is the season. And we'll get you in the mood for some spooky Halloween activities, Steve. I'm looking right at you, big
I'm
guy.
looking at you too, Steve.
Yeah, I know.
But no, you guys should really watch it. It's good. I think you all like it.
When did it come out?
Yesterday.
I heard about it like once before, like a year ago, I want to say, but someone on TNR, the morning show we listened to, recommended it, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally gonna fucking listen to this or check this out because I love their opinions and shit. So I did, and it did not disappoint. So just check it out; it's really good.
I haven't watched a single scary movie this entire season,
Dude, watch it.
so that'll probably be the one that I pick
Yeah,
up.
it's on Netflix. You might as well. You don't have to pay for it. So,
Hell yeah.
well, you do, but you know what I mean.
$8 a month.
Right. All right, that's my shitting around. You guys can go.
Were you gonna say something, Chris?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
right.
I don't know what I was gonna say. I kept like leaning in, like I wanted to make a comment, but I didn't have anything to say.
It's all good. I think I played more video games in the last like 4 days than I have in the last 2 weeks.
Heck yeah.
Just cause I got not really sick. Everyone's getting sick. It's just the thing to do nowadays, I guess. I got like a minor illness.
Same with me, dude.
Yeah.
I'm battling it right now.
Oh, I'm not. I'm good now.
It's not that bad though.
It was Saturday. I had like a really sore throat. It wasn't fun. And then I got home from work on Saturday, and I decided to play some Phantom Pain, of course. So I'm at a spot in Phantom Pain where I don't even know if I talked about it on the podcast yet, but I'm my support unit, my support team is not a high enough level.
D-Dog?
No, I got D-Dog. You think I don't got D-Dog? D-Dog's
that's
mad
all I
at me,
thought.
though.
Bro, I got like generic Phantom
Yeah.
Pain terms.
D-Dog?
Fulton.
That's all I've
D-Dog.
taken out of that conversation.
D-Dog is mad at me because
Cause.
I accidentally made him walk into a landmine.
Steve threw a
Yeah, that could
magazine-
ruin a relationship.
Steve threw a magazine at D-Dog by accident while trying to throw magazines at the guys on Mother Base.
Luckily, it was on your game though, and not mine.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Was he upset?
Yeah,
He made a horrible noise. I wanted to kill myself immediately afterwards.
I had gone downstairs and I went back up where Steve was, and he was just like repented, like
Yeah.
like I did me too.
He whimpers.
I hit D-Dog.
He whimpers and then he shows his teeth when he's upset at you. Like just
It's like we're
his
chill
idol.
now. It's fine.
Yeah.
He got over it.
You got
but
some S ranks in there.
It's hard.
Yeah,
hard.
my D-Dog is still a bit upset at me, but oh yeah, my support unit's not a high enough level for me to get the Fulton upgrade to be able to Fulton like trucks and like cargo containers and shit.
Where you send them to Fulton Prison.
Right, sure. Fulton Prison
Right,
Blues.
right,
I get it.
All right.
Like Johnny Money.
Right.
Yeah. So I was just kind of grinding through. Oh yeah, I have one mission, only one mission, in which my options are to either drive a truck out of the mission area, which, no spoilers, is pretty goddamn hard for certain circumstances, or Fulton it out. And I'm like, it had to be like level 16. I'm at level 11, so I was just like roaming around looking for people with a high support unit level, trying to Fulton them out. And I kind of just got really like frustrated. I don't like grinding. I didn't like grinding in WoW. I especially don't want to grind in a Metal Gear Solid game. Like, what the fuck's that all about? So I impulse bought out of anger The Witcher 3.
Yeah. I'm raising my fist in the air.
Yeah.
You guys can see it, but
I've always liked fantasy.
listeners can't.
I've always liked open world
I
RPGs.
punched
I've
the
always
mic.
liked punching the mic. So that's
All
why I'm
right.
friends with Chris.
What do they vote?
But so I decided to digitally download this game from the comfort of my own room.
Were you in your underwear?
I don't know. I don't even remember.
I always think when people say in the comfort of my own house, I always just imagine them in their underwear.
I was in my spiritual
You know what I do
underwear.
whenever, like, if I'm home, if I have a day off from work and I'm not doing anything that day, I never just like, even if I do just kind of stay in bed and play video games all day, my little trick to make myself feel better is I get up, I put pants on, I put a belt on. Now I have
Dude.
pockets, and then I get back and I just lay back on my bed, and I'm like, it's fine.
I'm pretty
I put
sure-
pants on, I'm being more productive.
Dude, it's
a great trick.
I was wearing pants because I got home from work and just straight away just went straight into the PS4. So I had pants on all day, and then about like 3 hours in, I removed my pants, and I was like, what have I been doing with my life? Wearing these pants this whole fucking
Yeah.
time.
You removed your pants, and you're like, all right, big boss.
Yeah.
Why does putting on pants make you feel better? It's just uncomfortable.
No, I know.
I
but,
know
like,
what you're saying.
It's just like, now, I don't know.
You need to just accept the fact that sitting around all day and playing video games isn't a bad thing. That's
If I'm
your
just
problem.
wearing like sweatpants or something, like I don't have pockets. I just gotta like hold my phone if I like get up. I'm like, if I put pants on, at least there's like the idea that like at any time I could be like, yeah, I'm gonna go out. I'm just gonna
Right.
throw my shoes on. I'm good.
If there's
I'm lying to myself.
If there's a fire, you'll be prepared.
I've already got my pants on.
You won't be embarrassed.
Right. It's
Standing
like, I'm
outside
good.
in your
like
skivvies.
I was sick from work, as you could tell from the last episode. I was sick as a dog, and I called out at work that week. But I just like got up and like got dressed and like got ready as if I were gonna go to work, and then just like rested. And
Just
hung out.
had a day to
and
yourself.
just had a day.
You came here at night though,
I did.
so
'cause-
hopefully none of your coworkers are
it
listening.
doesn't matter. No, I called out of work because I'd just been miserable all week, and then finally a day of rest was literally all I needed. I
just like God.
just like G. All right,
G.
back,
Giselle.
back to what you're.
No,
There it is.
I impulse downloaded.
Is that Smoker Giselle?
When Tom has left her, and she just turns to cigarettes.
10 years from now.
to keep the pounds off, she just smokes. And
Tom goes back to Bridget Monahan. He's like, yeah, you're way better looking for some reason.
I remember when I did it, that old Butterfingers. All right, okay.
He's really struggling right now.
That voice is not pleasant to do. Anyway,
Hashtag performance matters.
yeah, nailed it.
Well, so I downloaded The Witcher 3. It only took 3 hours this time, which is like how long it took to download
And it's
The Vanishing of Ethan
I believe.
Carter.
Correct me. It's 9,000 gigs. Correct.
It's over 9,000 gigs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So,
all right, I walked into that one.
yeah, you did.
Okay. All right, guys.
You okay?
Chris,
man?
could you pass me my backpack behind you? I don't know why I'm saying this directly into the microphone, but I figured if I'm going to talk, I'll talk on mic. It's good
why not do
practice.
it?
Hear that? Hear that, audience?
Thank you. Oh, Dylan just. whipped
I
that
just
out.
fucking shoulder
You
checked.
downloaded The
mic.
Witcher 3.
I downloaded The Witcher 3, and I didn't play it until the next day because by the time it was finished downloading, it was like 1 a.m. I watched the intro, and then that was it. I decided I wanted to start fresh on a new day. So I woke up the next day and just did my morning routine, and then just dove right into it. I have to say, the story gripped me right away. It was... I did read a lore primer because I'm completely unfamiliar with all of those games and the books. So I thought it was a cool story, a cool take on the whole, a not so original setting. But I do like
just
that setting.
classic like medieval fantasy.
Yeah, which I was kind of drawn to because I don't like when there's like it's medieval fantasy with a catch. Then there's like this one weird sort of thing about it that changes.
But this is just rooted in basically fairy tales that have already existed. So yeah, there's monsters. Yeah, there's a little bit of magic, but it's handled in a way that I've always found like very approachable.
Yes.
Even though it's dense and like it's weird, it feels like in our world we don't know the ins and outs of medicine because we're not doctors.
Right.
And so like in that world, yeah, I don't know the ins and outs of magic because I'm not a wizard.
Right.
And it doesn't like you feel like that's not my thing.
Exactly.
I'm a witcher. Oh yeah, continue.
So I have a habit of playing games on hard mode just because that's what I feel like it's more rewarding. So this has 4 settings. One of them is like stupid easy. One of them is normal. One of them is hard. One of them is super hard. And they have like cool little titles like Blood and Bones or something is like one of them. So I picked the second hardest. So not the most hard, but the one right before that because I figured it would give me a challenge.
Yeah.
And I would also get to experience the combat system the way it was intended to be.
Sure.
Which was another article that I read. I don't remember where, but it was saying to play on the hardest setting, and I was like, all right, pump the brakes. I don't want to hate this game 5 minutes in. It's fucking hard on this one setting. I'm almost thinking I maybe should have started it on the setting before, but so in The Witcher 3, for those of you who haven't played it, you can just kind of go at enemies with a hack and slash mentality, but you'll eventually run into some problems just because it's an RPG and certain enemies are a higher level than you. They're a certain type of enemy, so you have 2 different swords. You have a silver sword for spectral monsters, and then you have
It's basically
steel sword.
it's just steel sword for like animals and people, and then silver sword for everything else.
Yeah, exactly. So my first time running into trouble, I had to fight a it's called a noon wraith.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what quest you're talking about.
So
the well.
The well, yes. There's
It's a great it's side quest you can get
Yep.
pretty early on. That
Very early on.
quest got me like into The Witcher
me too, in a way, but
because
not
it's a
without,
well-told side story.
it's not without humongous frustration on my
Sure,
part
yeah.
because another feature in The Witcher is meditation. You can it's basically like the wait function in the Elder Scrolls and Fallout, except actually no, in a lot of the Elder Scrolls, actually is it? Do you get
You just passes time.
no?
And
But do you get health back in the Elder Scrolls when you wait?
Yeah.
You do.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to in The Witcher, but on this difficulty setting, you don't.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, you can tell me, I've been waiting to ask you this, are there inns where I can just go rest for the night? Because I haven't found one ever.
No. Well,
No,
you can go
there's
into
not.
inns and you can buy food,
Right.
and that's how you heal.
Making
You
money's
buy-
been an issue for me as well.
Yeah.
It's harder than most games.
I mean, you've put yourself up to like the real challenge of basically being a Witcher.
Sure.
The game has its moments of difficulty on the regular setting.
Yeah.
So I can
believe
only
it.
imagine what it's like. I mean, I knew The Witcher 2 on normal was very difficult.
That's what my roommate told me.
So going into The Witcher 3, I was like, I'm not going to pick the higher difficulty because I considered it because I like getting trophies. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just get the trophy for the hardest
Yeah.
difficulty. I was like, no, I want to enjoy this game. And that's how I was able to put almost 200 hours into it.
Dude, yeah, that's so many hours. But I don't know. I have like the mentality of I'll do it for 45 minutes and lose because it'll feel that much better when I finally beat it.
Sure, yeah.
It's kind of like a porn addict, how they just kind of like beat off for like 45 minutes, and then when they finally finish off, it feels way better than if they
That's a
finish
great
the first
analogy.
time.
Thank you for that.
You worried that you're gonna stop playing it once Fallout comes out and it's gonna be a waste of money?
Good question. Let me get to that because that was like a thing I was going to say after. Back to this noon wraith at the well. So a noon wraith is a ghost. It's a wraith, and it shows up around noontime. So there's like a myth that the farmers and farmhands will stop work at midday, if not only to get a rest, to stay away from noon wraiths, which are usually women who were widowed or who died under weird circumstances, shit like that. So you gotta fight one of these ghosts, and my sword was not doing dick. It was 2 levels higher than me, even though the quest was my level. Like the actual enemy was 2 levels higher than me. And I just died and died and died over and over and over again. And then I remembered to what Geralt said. Geralt's the main character. Right before I started it, he says, I'm going to have to get some sort of spectral oil or something like that. So I was like, oh yeah, what the hell was that? So I looked into it, and you can get certain oils to put on your weapons that will make it fighting against certain enemies a lot easier. So even though I was really frustrated that I had spent a half hour dying, I did go on like an alchemy kind of quest, not a quest, but like just trying to find certain herbs to put together to make this oil, so then use on my sword to then go and finally kill this ghost, which just sounds like a lot, but it actually was a bit more rewarding that I did get to experience the intricacy of the combat system rather than just going in there and hacking and slashing and getting XP and money and going on to the next. It actually made me spend my money, of which I did not have a lot, to buy certain herbs, and it just put me in a more dire situation, which is what I think I was looking for out of this game in general. So for that, for the story, for
But did you finish that quest?
yeah, I did.
Okay.
I got
Because I knew that there was like
bit past
story
that.
elements, so I was worried that maybe you had to complete part of the story in order to finally kill
No.
the Noon Wraith.
No, I
I can't
didn't have
remember.
to
It
do
was
that.
the very first quest I did. So.
No, that's I believe that's one of the notice board quests, side quests. But I was just doing them because I didn't want to go through the main story too quickly, and the quests levels were a lot higher than my level at the time. So as far as all that goes, game is awesome. Really don't have a ton to say negatively about it, but I do feel like the frame rate sucks. For me at least, the frame rate was like it's noticeable how clippy it is, and I don't know if that's Steve. I don't know if that's an effect of me digitally downloading it or what.
I can't say that I recall experiencing any of that, and I was playing off the disc.
It's not laggy. It's just not.
They did just
crisp.
patch in a bunch of new stuff, and maybe that's where some wonkiness is.
I would say, if anything, it would probably run better than Chris's because it doesn't have to read off of a disc.
Maybe.
But
It's because you're on a fucking console. Like, that's the only reason.
I know that.
Right, but I didn't experience that, and I'm on the same console, you know?
well, maybe
Because you've never been a PC gamer, my friend.
you may be experiencing it,
true.
and I may just be being more critical of it because
Maybe.
I'm used to like 60 FPS on some things. That's like we were talking about earlier. That should be the standard.
Yeah.
Now.
It's because this is going to get pretty deep. Because for some reason, people always compare this game to Skyrim, like we did last episode, 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
You might have had that subconscious thought in the back of your head, thinking, hey, it's comparing this to Skyrim. I played Skyrim on the PC at fucking 60 to 100 FPS with crazy mods. Now I'm playing this game on a console, and 30 FPS is clearly noticeable, and that's maybe something you're comparing that to? I don't know.
Sort of, but the thing is, I played Skyrim on the console as well.
Well, that was even
PS3.
worse than this.
Right.
So that,
No, it really wasn't. It might have been, maybe technically.
Is it that bad? Really?
It's not
The
bad.
thing is, I think it's
just,
not that if the frame rate is lower, it's if it doesn't stay at a constant frame rate. That's when I think the problem
right. And
comes.
I was fighting a water hag, which is some old saggy tit having looking
Yeah.
evil lady.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
nasty.
it took me like 45 minutes. This was last
Oh, wow.
night because
Well, water hags at that point in the game are pretty difficult as well.
right, and it was only I think 2 levels higher than me, but it was still green. But it has this thing where it can burrow and then appear behind you. And when it would do that, it would lag a tiny, tiny bit to the point where I would know when it was going to happen, but it would still hinder my ability to roll out of the way or dodge.
It's honestly because you've experienced gaming on a PC. That's the
I
only
think
reason.
so.
When I play console games, I notice the same thing. Not that it's not really that huge of a deal, but once you pick up on it, it's really hard to not notice it. And it can kind of be the only thing you think about, and it can
Yeah,
fuck you up pretty bad.
for sure. And if I was more of a shallow gamer, like who is really into
Right,
visuals,
exactly.
I would have been like, fuck this
Right.
game. This
But
is stupid.
You're smart. You realize it's a phenomenal game. That's the only platform you can play it on at the
Right.
moment. You're just gonna do it.
And I think that there's probably a steep learning curve. I probably put myself mistakenly in a hole by
you can-
choosing that difficulty.
Can't you change the difficulty?
Yeah, but that's bitch shit. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, all right.
That's like wearing the chicken hat. I'm not gonna
Right.
wear the chicken hat. But I did reach a certain point where it was so difficult, like before I decided to get that spectral oil or something, where I was like, I fucking impulse bought this game to avoid grinding in Metal Gear Solid. Just so what? I can grind in this game. Like that was annoying me. But then I felt a
If
lot
you look
better
at
about
it
it.
from like a more of a role playing aspect,
Yeah.
like this is just a side quest, but if you were to actually be this Witcher doing this thing, it would still be a challenge because it's still life or death, and you're still
Exactly.
going to have to put the time in and gather the materials and everything and
Right.
be prepared. And if you look at it that way, it could probably be more enjoyable and more immersive.
Exactly. That's what I think, and that's why I'm really I do like it. I'm going to keep playing it, and when Fallout 3 comes out, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4.
I'm sorry, Fallout 4, Witcher 3, Fallout 4.
Yeah, I got you.
But when that drops, I'm going to probably take a break from whatever I'm playing and just dive into that.
yeah.
There's gonna be a time, a week or two in, where I'm gonna be like,
You'll be a little burnt out.
I'll try something else. Yeah, and I think that's good for me because a lot of the times I alternate. Like when I would play Phantom Pain a lot, then I would play. It was like I was doing video game speedballs. I'd play Rocket League to just get all like hyped up, and then to chill out, I'd play some Metal Gear Solid.
I've actually been playing Rocket League a little more, but
Cool.
that's not my point. I was gonna buy The Witcher or Dark Souls 2, but then I thought better of both of them because I knew Fallout was coming out, and I knew for a fact that the second it came out, I would just put them down, forget about them, probably uninstall them because I'd want to put Fallout on my solid state drive.
Yeah.
I only have like 120 gigs on it. I think
Right.
30 are free. So whatever big game I'm playing at the time gets the space.
Sure.
And then I usually don't reinstall to my like D drive unless I'm just like bored or something. So instead I bought Child of Light for $350 on Steam. The game's great. It's just like there's no fucking point to that game. It's the story sucks.
Really?
Yeah, I read the reviews and people were like, "Oh, the story's really gripping and it grabs you in, it makes you want to play." And I completely disagree. It's way deeper than I thought it was, like than I thought it was going to be, I should say. But the story is just it's not good. And the rhyming, all the dialogue rhymes the entire fucking game. And after like 2 hours, I was like, "Yep, I'm totally fucking not playing this for a little while. I need a break."
Yeah, it sounds taxing.
Yeah. So now I'm kind of just sitting on my ass playing Rocket League, and I'm playing the Walking Dead Telltale games, which are really good. I beat the first episode, and I'm looking forward to more. But I just can't see myself playing another big-ass game until Fallout comes out, because it'll be a waste for me, honestly. Which is a shame that I think that way, because I could just play it till I beat it and play Fallout after. I just know I'm not going to be able to
Yeah, we're
wait.
still almost a month from Fallout.
I know, but dude, that's like, think about how close that is, though. We've been waiting for this game forever, you know?
True.
Yeah, I think that if I like took the time and just sat there and thought about it, I probably wouldn't have bought The Witcher. I probably would have.
Yeah,
been
it was
like-
an impulse.
It was, yeah, and like I
done
don't
that.
I don't regret having it on my console because I don't have to uninstall it. You know what I mean? So-
Backlog, man. You'll eventually
Yeah.
get to it.
And it's not even like I'm super intimately like knowledgeable about the series and the lore and the story. I don't know. I'm just still getting used to it. I just think it's cool. So I'm not gonna like really miss much if I drop it for 2 weeks or
Yeah,
whatever.
I can always fill you in.
Yeah,
I'm
you can
pretty.
loan, you can loan me
and all that shit.
you can loan me that thing you were talking about.
Yeah, I get the World of the Witcher book. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
I also have the guide, which I didn't use for quests. I just used it more for like, I don't know, outside information, just like gathering knowledge about the game itself.
Yeah.
And then when I went to like hunt down like better armor towards the very end of the game, I used the guide for that.
Good old fashioned guys.
Yeah, good old fashioned strategy guides. I got the my girlfriend bought me the MGS5 one,
Right? Yeah, you were talking about.
and in the back of it, like this is like it was totally worth the purchase just for like the last 10 pages. It's all just like extra secrets and like stuff that you can do in the game.
Cool.
Like in mission 1, when you save the person that you save, I don't know why I'm still avoiding spoilers, but you save Kaz. That's mission 1 is you go and you save Kaz. And you have him, Big Boss has him over his shoulder, and Kaz is saying like, say it, like please, like say it for old time's sake, like say, kept you waiting, huh? And then you don't say it, and you just move on with the scene.
because how would you know?
But
How to say
right,
it?
but I've read in the guide, if you press triangle or Y if you're on Xbox, boss will say, kept you waiting, huh? Like the famous line,
Mm-hmm.
and then Kaz is like, it really is you. And I would just knowing I could do that, I was like, holy shit, I got to go back and play that mission right now. So there's this little things like that are super cool. There's Demon Snake, which is based on actions that you do. Some multiplayer stuff. It alters Snake's appearance. I'm not gonna get into it because I don't want to like spoil stuff for people. If they want to look into that, they can. But anyway, yeah, back to The Witcher. Yesterday, which was Monday, the day before The Witcher DLC came out, it unlocked on my PS4.
Ooh.
It was just like you can now play The Witcher 3: Hearts of Stone.
Cool.
And I didn't because I was doing something else, whatever it was. But I just thought that was cool. Should I talk about that? We're gonna talk about like our spooky stuff later. Do you want me to just
definitely
get that Witcher one out of the way now since we're on topic?
Sure. And this is like an urban
Well, just
legend,
we looked into like creepy like urban legends involving video games or like creepy secrets in games. And so I was looking around the internet today, and I have been to this area, and I remember noting, wow, that's kind of weird. But what actually was happening never occurred to me. So there are lots of pop culture references in The Witcher, sprinkled throughout, and you'll pick up on things. I can't even think of anything specific right now, but I know that there's stuff in there. And this is one. It's a pop culture reference to something that I don't even particularly like, but in fact, I dislike it. But I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, so there's this area, and you do a quest in Velen, an area of The Witcher. And whatever you do, there's these angel statues placed outside of a small stone little church or something like that. And when you go inside the church, you'll pass by the two angels. And once you walk back outside as Geralt, the two angel statues will have moved away, and they're now both looking at you, which is a reference to the weeping angels or whatever they are from Doctor Who, which they're like statues that like come after you. I don't know. They seem pretty creepy. But yeah, and so every time you move around or turn away from them, I believe that they like turn to face you and they get closer to you. So there in The Witcher 3, there's just this spooky little Easter egg, I guess, which is a reference to Doctor Who. Yeah, and I don't know, creepy statues that move around. And I also read that like due to like the reference, it can like set you back in your save data, or I don't know if that was just the article itself making a joke because these things send you back in time in the show.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. But sorry, moving the mic. Real professional over here. Oh yeah, so that seemed pretty interesting, but we'll get more into those things
for sure
later on. I think that if you really take your time with The Witcher, obviously it's going to be a slow crawl, but if you like dig into it and gather your supplies like you did and make sure you're prepared and you read up on the monsters, that can make everything take long. Right. But I also think that you might have like a really, really awesome, like rewarding experience.
Yes.
Like legitimately like reading like the encyclopedia that's in the menu. Like,
I have.
I mean, I did that on the normal difficulty. Like, okay, how do I best fight this monster? And sometimes I would do it even when I didn't really need to. When I was towards endgame and I'm going back and cleaning up quests that I missed and stuff, because I just did it for the story, not for the experience or the rewards, really.
Right.
You can, I'll be fighting really low-level things that I could basically kill in 2 hits, but I would still read up on them because I just liked doing it.
Right,
I liked knowing what this monster's weakness was so that I could go in and I could exploit it, and like just makes you feel like you know what you're doing.
Right, exactly.
Which is fun.
That's definitely what the sense that I got from that one quest with the well, and from fighting that water hag, because I just looked it up in the bestiary, found out that it was weak against the Igni sign, and I enjoy that. I think that that's what's going to set it apart from, say, a game like Shadow of Mordor, which I really liked. It was fun, but it lacked a lot of depth for me in my my playstyle.
Basically a hack and slash.
Exactly.
The deepness of that is what in the Nemesis system.
Yeah, and even that is sort of, I don't know, it seems kind of like random once you realize those NPCs aren't like actually wandering around in real time, and it just kind of fills in the blanks for you. But the combat upgrades you can get in Shadow of Mordor are cool, and they make it easier, or they make it more fun to watch, but they don't, it's not like you fight any enemies differently than you fight other ones. There's no real depth as far as that goes. So I thought that it reminded me a lot of the original Fable. I'm getting the same charm from it. Like
it's weirdly, despite its grittiness, it is a very like charming and like charismatic world.
Yeah, and
there's a lot of life to it.
It definitely does, and that's what I loved about that first Fable game, was how much going in cold to a series and not knowing anything about any of the characters. It really drew me in right from the start, right from the get-go. And I guess it's a little different with The Witcher 3 because it's an established main character who has, books of backstory
Yeah.
and stuff. But I don't know any of that. To me, he's just this guy that I just started playing around with, and I really like the overall feel of the world and the environment and the characters. And
And so that first town you go into, White Orchard, is that what it is?
Yep.
Everything's always white with these starting towns. I don't know. What is it? In, Whiterun? In
Whiterun,
yeah.
yep.
In Skyrim. Riverwood, and then Whiterun. Anyway,
Palette Town.
So
Palette is like colors. White's a color.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's you read my mind.
Yeah.
Megaton is the first time you go to.
Megaton, Midgar.
Explosions are white, so
Yeah.
Megaton makes sense.
Was it Kokiri Village? How do you say it?
Kokiri.
Kokiri, yeah, that's it.
Do you say explosions are white?
Yeah. I'm just making up a dumb reason for why it made sense.
For Megaton?
That's a stretch.
Yeah, I know. It was a joke. It's not actually true.
What was I just lost my train of thought. Oh, so White Orchard, this first town you go to, it's like, there's some shit going on there. Like, this place is kind of being ravaged by a war happening.
Mhm.
And so you expect every single person to just be, like, downtrodden and, like, fuck. And you'll ride through little, like, hamlets and stuff where there's just people crying on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Like, where shit's dark. But also, you'll ride up to a certain point and there's, like, little kids playing in puddles. Because they're just little kids. And then they're singing, like, there's this one where some kid is singing a little nursery rhyme, and his father is like, stop that, because it's like some local thing that kind of talks shit about this invading army, and like we don't know who's listening. Like, stop doing that.
And he does that. That happens every single
Unfortunately,
time.
these things repeat.
First time that happened, I was like, this is really cool. I really like this.
There's a certain conversation about this guy changing his name. He's like, oh, by the way, this is my new name. And they're like, that's not your new name, you idiot. And he's like, yeah, it is, because he's kind of trying to blend in with this invading army. And the first time I heard that, I was like, huh, can I talk to these people? No, okay, they're just talking to each other. That's fine. And the next time I went through, they did the same thing. And they didn't do it every single time, but I heard that same conversation a number of times.
Right.
However, yeah, you'll still get there's the drunk guys at the bar, and they want to start trouble, and you got to clean it up. But there's also the drunk guys at the bar who just want to play cards with you, and they're like, come on, man, like, drink with us. Like,
Sure, yeah.
There's just both sides to everything in The Witcher. And yeah, like you just said, there's the technical thing where stuff repeats, and but if you're able to look past that stuff, I clearly was able to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variety you'll find.
I'll definitely be able to look past the technical errors or whatever shortcomings in that department, just because I do enjoy the environment that much. And I do like how, as opposed to Fable, where you are a hero, a trained hero, a Witcher is sort of like an anti-hero. Everyone needs them, but no one wants
And the
them.
thing with Geralt is like exactly what you just said. Everybody needs them and nobody wants them. Everyone calls them mutants and freaks.
Yeah.
And the general public dislikes people like Geralt. They will be those occasional people who are like, you know what? No, you're a good dude. They either know of Geralt from before, or they're just like, I'm in need of your help and I'm going to be respectful to you. And then there's still some people who are like, yeah, take my fucking money, whatever, you dirty Witcher. But then there's also those like high-ranking people who look down on Geralt because like he's just a sword. He's not a man. He's a sword. I mean, he's
Right.
really not a man because they're all mutated. They consider them not to be human. But then there's those high-ranking officials who are like, I know Geralt from things that have happened in this past. So you get both sides. People
Definitely.
hate Witchers, but Geralt has a reputation, and you don't even need to know what that reputation is to just understand it when you start playing it.
Exactly. And it's sort of, I can empathize with the townsfolk as well, because from what I understand, the little that I understand of the lore of this whole universe, is that once magic was introduced, that's when all the problems happened. That's when all the wars started, and the distrust in sorceresses and witchers is based in the fact that magic has been used to oppress lots and lots of people for a long time. So it just makes sense, like within that culture, why they would be opposed to someone like Geralt or other witchers and sorceresses and stuff.
I think there was a rift that opened, something like that. Magic and
Right.
monsters came through. Sorceresses or sorcerers, it's usually females.
Right.
They harnessed that power, were hated for it.
It's like
and
the
then there
lodge
was
of sorceresses.
there were
right?
the witchers who were mutated with that like monster magic stuff, became what they were. They're considered less than human. Witchers basically kidnap children.
Right,
they'll, like,
exactly.
It's like the very like Rumpelstiltskin like fairy tale thing, like, you know, I'll do this thing for you, but in return you'll have to give me something. And it's always like the Witcher will kill the monster and save your family, but like, give me your child now.
Isn't it like something you don't know that you have yet or you don't know. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's
yeah,
like
one
a
of those.
riddle.
Yeah, one of those riddle things where you have to basically give up your firstborn child.
Right,
to
or
a
it could
Witcher.
end up being like a cattle. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah. So in that sense, it's like that paints the Witchers in a negative light. But I hope that you like that game as much as I did.
I see myself following through with it, definitely.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's move off The Witcher. I said to you guys briefly when we were talking about the wait up till Fallout 4, I think I'll probably buy one more game before then, because either Until Dawn, because I've just been itching to play that. The price has gone down, which is surprising because apparently that game's been selling out places, because I think that it's more successful than they were expecting. It was cheaper on Amazon than it was on PlayStation Network, so I might buy it physically. We'll see. Or I want to get the Uncharted collection. I love that series. Would like an excuse to replay it in
It'd be
HD.
nice to have just for
Right.
ever.
Because I was going to get Tales of Zestiria, that JRPG series, Tales of, and it's the latest installment, the first one on PS4. I had it pre-ordered, and I was all excited about it. It comes out October 20th, and I just started to think, that's a little bit too close for a game that size. I won't play it, and that will be a waste of my $60.
Is Uncharted Collection a new game, or is it just like
No,
remastered?
it's the collection of the old three remastered, yeah. But there's been some tweaks and stuff, and I think it's just much better than loading up like Uncharted 1 on PS3. Like, I don't really want to do that again. So,
Is he a little kid in any of those games? Like he's in the commercial?
yeah, Uncharted 3, you do a flashback where he meets his friend.
Yeah. He looks like a little shit. Dude.
Yeah,
I saw that commercial and I was like, no. Like, I would fucking never play this game. I don't know why. Like,
he's alright as a kid.
his mouth looked all shitty and like not animated right. I don't know. It pissed me off.
Dude, didn't you play some of the Uncharted
I played
games?
the first one, yeah.
That's
And
'cause that's the worst one.
No, I liked it a lot. It was fucking. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, that commercial like didn't sit well with me. I don't even know why.
Yeah,
I'm just being a
that's
picky
okay.
piece of shit.
That's because American advertising stinks, like we talked about with the Metal Gear trailers. As soon as I saw that first US MGS trailer, and I was like out. Like, I wasn't out, clearly. I was still on the hype train. But
You're out, but
John, not playing
just
this
like
game at
8
all.
of the episodes of this podcast are all Metal Gear Solid
Okay.
5.
Wait, did you say 8 of them?
13. Sorry.
No, I'm gonna say 8 of them are all Metal Gear Solid. The other 5 are all Witcher.
the other 5 are all Mario.
Yeah, those are definitely the 2 most popular games on the podcast.
But, yeah,
The
'cause
2
of
most
course-
popular games in my mouth. Yeah, for sure.
They're the 2 biggest games that have came out in the past year. So
Yeah.
Of them.
2 of them that I haven't played either of.
Right.
Didn't you recently go back on your word, Joe, and pick up a game that you said you didn't want to get?
You did? Oh no.
What?
You're planning on getting a game you didn't want to get.
What are you talking
The
about?
new Animal Crossing.
Oh no, I had a weak moment this morning.
I thought you did get it.
No, I didn't. I said I wanted it, and I do want it.
Oh.
I want it really badly. It's just I know for a fact I'm going to get it, and I'm going to be disappointed in the just how limited it is compared to the other ones.
So you're playing Animal Crossing New Leaf. Steve has now just started playing Animal Crossing New Leaf. Steve,
First Animal Crossing game I've ever played too.
I want to hear what Steve has to say about his experience in the game, and then Joe, I want you to tell us, because you're a little bit more experienced with the series and with this game itself.
Hold up. This is the first Animal
Yeah, I've
Crossing
never
you've
played Animal
ever
Crossing
played?
before.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I didn't have a DS when everyone else did, so I couldn't play it.
You didn't have a
with everybody.
GameCube, Steve?
I did have a GameCube, but I didn't. I think
You didn't get,
found-
like-
You think Steve wasn't too busy fucking smashing, bro?
Yeah, I was too busy playing Smash.
Too busy playing Time Splitters 2?
Yeah, no, Smash and Master Quest.
You should have been playing Time Splitters 2, but you could play that on PlayStation. Anyway, move
Yeah.
on. How you done?
So,
What are the- so, let
like,
me-
I know enough. Like, I know a decent amount about, or about it because I've been on the internet. So I know, like, you have a house and
Steve's
you
plugged in.
like collect fruit and fish.
And you're the fucking
shit.
mayor
You're
this
the mayor.
time?
Obviously, I'm already the mayor.
Yeah.
I already walked off the train.
But that's new. Did you know that was new?
No, I didn't know that was.
Yeah,
new.
you're usually a villager. You're
But,
you're nobody, dude. You're just a fucking regular old.
So yeah,
dude.
so I get on the train and that fucking creepy cat's there,
Okay.
Rover. He's all like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "Don't sit with me, like get out of here. I don't know you." So like it was really weird though because it was like, "Oh yeah, what's your name?" And I was like, "Oh, Steve." And it was like, "All right, cool." And then it was like, "You seem like a pretty cool guy." And I was like, "So you're just like gonna?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a good guy.
Yeah, I am a pretty cool guy.
yeah, I'm pretty cool."
Thanks for
And they get off and they're all like, the really weird part was like, whatever her name is, Isabel, the dog.
Yep.
She's like question marks at first,
Yep.
and I was like, "Why?"
She's mysterious.
She's not
Her
mysterious.
name's Isabel.
Everyone who's ever been on the internet knows who she is.
She's just your fucking secretary.
Yeah, but it was just like it was really weird that she was the only one so far throughout the whole game that was just like, well, oh, you won't discover my name until I tell you. It's like everyone else there that you meet is just like, hey, this is this person's name,
Yeah.
this person's name, and this is Tom
Well,
Nook's
'cause
like, I'm
she's-
fucking Tom Nook.
She's a new character.
Yeah, it was
she's
just-
supposed
it
to be
just
like the
seemed weird to
new.
me.
So you're
addition.
the mayor.
I'm the
Okay, I have a question, but I'll save it.
All right,
What'd you name your town?
Hyrule. I wasn't creative.
That
I was gonna think of something
sucks.
funny, but
Should
you only,
be
have,
like
you only
Hyrule.
have 8 letters.
That's plenty.
Yeah.
Joe, what did you name yours?
I Lowell, but I spelt
Wow,
it differently.
good job.
Well, that's where it
So
was
much
when I
better than
made it.
Hyrule.
Yeah, I'd
I
rather
was
be in
gonna get a
Hyrule.
Link
too.
outfit too, so that's why I named it Hyrule.
Oh, dude, I have the fucking Samus mask. It's so sick.
Nice.
But I'm not wearing it right now. I took it off today, actually.
Should have named it Metroid then.
Can you
So
get?
you have the Metroid mask, you mean? This Samus. What is Samus? The main character of Metroid is Metroid. Just like the main character of Halo, and
Oh,
you play
right.
Tomb Raider and Tomb Raider. Come on.
Right.
Go. Just
I
like you
got
play Uncharted and Uncharted.
And
Yeah,
Uncharted is the main-
obviously.
Yeah.
It's Uncharted and Sully. Don't you
Can
know
you
that?
get?
I'm sorry. I have a Metroid.
Can you get a Luigi costume?
Absolutely,
You people,
yeah.
I found one online that people just make. That's
You
what
can.
just scan them in.
No, you can probably get a Luigi hat.
Yeah.
You want to play it too, Chris? Yeah. So yeah, you go and you go to Tom Nook, and he's all like, "Hey."
And he's all like, "You already owe me money. You have."
No, he hasn't said that yet. He
You're
hasn't said that
you're
yet.
the mayor and you're in debt.
No, not yet.
I'm in
Hold on a
300,000
second.
bells
Okay,
in the
all right,
hole
hold
right
on a
now.
second.
Yeah, walk me
So
through
you
it.
walk up to Tom Nook, and he's like, "Hey, like, do you know where you want to put your house? Because you're going with Isabel." She's like, "Oh, you can go to register. Oh, you don't have a house yet. You can't register."
Mad pressure at the very beginning
Yeah.
of the game.
And he's like,
Isabel, back off.
she's nice.
Okay.
She's like
It's
a
like,
poodle. or
Sorry,
something.
Isabel.
Tom, I don't know if I want
Tom Nook, I'm
do
not
this
sure
one.
about.
No, he's a prick. He sucks
he
in
seems
every
like a
game.
prick.
Well,
He was
Tom
like,
prick, right?
He was like, "Do you want to know? You know where you want to put your house?" I was like, "No, I'm not sure." He's like, "Oh, that's fine. Like, let's look around." So I picked a nice beachfront house because I picked like the very first option that was like water and then a river going through. Because I was like, "You fish in this game."
Hey.
If there's
gonna
if
be
there's one thing
useful.
I know about Steve is he loves fun in the sun.
True.
You gotta stop moving that mic,
Hey,
broski.
buddy.
Yeah, you're just like smashing it around. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Come to my village,
Yeah.
pick up some coconuts,
Well, then it'll be a real beach.
plant those motherfuckers on your beach. Foreign fruit. That's mad loot.
Well, I haven't even like done anything yet because I literally.
You haven't even gone into retail yet?
No.
The store?
I haven't. It was closed. It was like, I think it was because I
Renovations or something?
No, I think it was just because I literally just started the game.
And you're in a
literally, I
goddamn
went,
tent?
Picked house. Tom was like, "Here you go. Here's where your outline for your house is gonna be."
Like, throw me a bone,
And then, like,
pal.
here's
I'm
a
running
fucking-
this. I'm
here's
running
a
the city.
tent
You
to
couldn't give
live
me
in.
like a fucking just a regular old house. You
Well,
gotta
like,
throw me in a
here's
tent.
the other house, like empty house down the street. Why don't you go? No, it's just like here's a fucking tent.
Yeah.
Here's a mailbox though, so you can get mail. I don't
Have you met any of the villagers yet?
No, I went up. I planted my fucking sapling, and then I was like, "All right, I'm gonna save because Chris is gonna be here soon to pick me up."
Okay.
And then yeah, that's all I've done so far. Picked some
But
cherries though.
I was gonna
Tripped a
say
fucking tree.
your fruited cherries.
Yeah, which is good for
Dude,
you.
I haven't seen any cherries. I don't have a cherry tree in my village, so
You can come take
I'm looking
them.
forward to that. What I was doing today is I was starting to lay down some outdoor like patio tiles or whatnot. I didn't know you could do that for a while, and dude, it's making my town look way fucking better. You thinking about time traveling?
No, I haven't thought into that yet.
It's a dangerous game, Steve. Because once you do it, you're like, fuck it, I already did it once. I'm just gonna keep doing it, and then, dude, they fuck you over real bad if you keep doing it. Like I didn't realize it. I did it. I'll admit it. I did it like probably 2 or 3 times, and then I did it like another time, and I go back to current day. All my grass is destroyed. It's all fucking dirt. All the turnips I bought, you'll figure out turnips with the stock market in Animal Crossing. It's been like that forever. And they were, dude, I must have dropped like 400,000 bells on turnips because I was going to flip them for mad loot.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting spoiled rather. And it was just like, I was so upset. And I never time traveled after that. Learned my lesson. And people start calling you time traveler. It's wicked
That's
embarrassing,
awesome.
dude. They're like, howdy, time traveler. And I was like, what the fuck? They're making you pay. But yeah, get into it. What you need to do, first of all, is you need to upgrade your house.
To an actual house, yeah.
Yeah, but I think you need to do it twice until you can start doing like town ordinances and like and stuff like that and like public works projects. Dude, it's deep, man.
Where
Like
do you poop?
Right now,
Yeah.
probably
You don't-
off the cliff. That's
you
right in
don't
front of
go to
my
the-
house.
You're the mayor and you live in a tent?
That's what I
Yeah.
said.
Did they
couldn't-
know?
Yeah,
Did the
no.
townspeople know?
I don't know about them.
They
Tom
do.
Nook sure knows, and Isabel knows.
Tom Nook sure fucking knows. He's holding it over my head.
Yeah, and his son. You meet his son now.
haven't met his son,
Kid runs the
Tim
fucking
Nook?
store now, dude.
Obviously,
No, his name's Tommy.
Keep
I mean,
knocking over my water bottle. What's this,
just like his
episode one?
dad or Timmy. It's either Timmy or no, one of them. I think there's 2 of them. It's called Timmy and Tommy's. You'll figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah. There's a lot you can do. Make sure you get the megaphone item. I got that like a week ago. It's wicked sick. You can use it and you can just like yell a villager's name and be like, "Get over here!" And they like walk up to you and you can just say whatever you want to
you
them.
can just put him in a hole. so
Yeah,
move out.
instead of having
How's
to
that going,
fucking
by the
find
way?
them. What?
Isn't it that dude moving out on you?
Oh, he's gone. Yeah, not Ribbit or whatever robot, whatever the fuck his name is. He's not gone. I convinced him to stay.
He's
Frog.
your like villain that you kept in town.
Frog the Ribbit.
He was like, dude, like I'm thinking about moving out, and I was like, no, you're not. Like I just said it straight. I just told him you're not moving, and he was just like, oh, okay. He's like, I'll go work out.
Yeah.
He's like mad jacked and shit.
Isn't he a robot though? How does that work?
He has robotic muscles. I don't know.
No, muscles. That's something that makes sense.
Get a robotic heart.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna play this game anymore. It
I
doesn't
don't
have.
It's good.
Really
though.
realistic.
But the other guy, Bob the cat, he just was like, he's
Bob
dude, this motherfucker,
the cat.
That cat.
dude. He didn't even he had the wherewithal
Did
to
you leave?
send me a letter
Afterwards?
put it in my mailbox, and be like, hey, I'm out of here, buddy. Sorry. And I went over to his house. And it was like the day he was moving out, and
burned it down.
all of his shit. I walk in, it's all in boxes, and he's just standing there, and I'm like, "Whoa, this is so
Ooh, this
real.
is
This
awkward."
motherfucker's out of here." And he was like, "Yeah, sorry, dude.
It's like he's breaking up with you.
You know, want to know the reason he left?
Why?
He wanted to go find better tasting food." And that, I don't know, that hurt my feelings.
Steve could have brought his
Hold on a
cherries.
second, maybe I have him in my village.
I was
right
gonna
now.
say, like, does that mean
He
something?
wanted to pop a cherry.
Does that mean I don't have enough fruit?
I don't know. You're asking me. I've never played a fucking.
Yeah, but I'm still, dude. I'm
before.
pretty green at this myself. Like, I've only put like 30 something hours.
Still pretty new leaf at this.
Yeah, but you've at least played the old ones.
Yeah, I played a lot of the old ones, but this one's way different, dude. Way.
Yeah, I
different.
don't know.
It's dude,
It
it's
seemed
fun.
like fun. You were talking. It was like I listened to you talk about it last episode, and I re-listened to that episode, and I was like, now I kind of want to get it.
Yeah,
I was like, it's only like $30. It's
It's
something
a
that I can
good-
play while playing other games.
exactly. It's a good time killer if you're just bored or
Yeah.
you're like out or
Don't want to
something.
play.
When you're soloing 6-man raids in Destiny.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I think I can only do that with one of them. The other one, it's literally impossible. No, I'm not. Not that I actually can. I'm just saying it's
You
only
can-
possible to solo.
There's a
one
couple
of them.
Animal Crossing raids you can do.
For sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
What
You can-
about what is it? KJ Slider? What's his name?
KK Slider?
KK Slider?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man.
What's he up to? You run into him yet?
No, he's not there yet.
He doesn't have Club LOL yet,
I
dude.
think I have like.
He's the DJ at Club LOL.
Club LOL.
You just peeked the
What?
mic. You got so
Good.
excited.
I
Yeah.
think I have like 2 cats, a duck, and somebody else. I
That,
can't
dude, there's
remember.
like 300 unique villagers or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, there's a ton of them.
I don't remember who I have. There's a list. I just
Yeah.
obviously didn't talk to them yet. I'm going to.
Yeah, you'll
And,
meet
you
some
know.
crazy dude. Some of them are like troublemakers, dude. You
sure.
can report problematic citizens. It's
What
wicked
happens when
funny.
they just get
Yeah.
put in a gulag?
Yeah, you throw them in the tent, demote them to a fucking tent, dude. It's so embarrassing when you go into some of their houses and they have all these sick like furniture sets,
Just take it.
and you go into your house. You can't. I wish you could.
was
And
me.
you go into your house and just a bunch of fucking random shit thrown about everywhere, and it's like super embarrassing.
Get
But it's
better at
fun.
Designing your house, Joe.
No, my house is beautiful. I was
Sure.
talking about your tent.
My tent's fuck. I have a tent so far.
Yeah, exactly. You got
Find out.
nothing.
When I get 30 hours in, we'll see what happens.
I'm fucking like, dude, I'm the big man on campus, dude. When I walk around that village, dude, like, they fucking know, all right? They know I'm there. They act cool, and they're watering their plants. You have to have an ordinance to have your
Oh, no, it's
townspeople
Mayor
water plants, by
Joe.
the way. Yeah. It's the Keep Lowell Clean Act is what I have in effect right now, actually, Steve.
Oh,
It cost me 20,000 bells to get that going. I put 20,000 of my own bells to keep my city beautiful for my citizens. What have you done, pal?
well, clearly you're not doing that great of a job. One of them almost left, and the one of them did leave.
Well, wasn't because of the beauty of the town. He just wanted better food.
You don't know why Ribbit was leaving,
Yeah, but I convinced him to stay.
did you?
He's fucking
You
crazy.
fucking bullied him to stay.
Yeah.
Take your village right now. You broke his robotic legs.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, fucking leave now, buddy. Fucking leave
Took
now.
away all his oil.
My options were to like simply let him go without arguing, or to say no, like you can't leave. So I just said no.
Yeah, you
and he was
forced
just
him
like,
to stay.
which was like, yeah, okay, I'll stay.
Now he's secretly pissing
What
on
does he
your
sound like?
house. They do have weird voices. I wasn't expecting that.
Isabel.
Yeah. For some reason, I just wasn't expecting. And like they
Like
actually
the
like,
teacher in Charlie
Yeah,
Brown.
but you can hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's a super sped up.
Yeah,
Yep.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it's funny. I love that game. It's very.
Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be
I don't
fun.
know.
I can't wait to play more of it.
I kind of feel like weird when I play it. I'm like, I should be
After I spend the next week playing Iron Banner in Destiny.
playing what?
The Iron Banner in Destiny.
Oh, play
It
New
just
Leaf.
hold on. The Iron Banner only lasts a week, so I have to play it.
Okay.
It's a special PvP where
Limited time?
Go, Joe.
stats matter. So you know.
Okay. Well, I'll see you in New Leaf, buddy. I'll see you
Yeah.
in fucking Hyrule.
Yeah, you're gonna steal all my
Stats
fucking.
matter.
I'll start a new fuck. No, I don't want to try these. I start.
Nah, Hyrule's cool. I'm just breaking your balls.
Yeah, it's better than LOL.
No, it's not.
Just twisting to
I
say.
mean, it is.
LOELL.
Yeah, it is.
The real lol.
Not fantasy lol. It's
No.
fucking beautiful.
Have you guys heard the conspiracy theory about the original Animal Crossing and its hidden themes?
I have not.
Ooh.
Animal Farm.
No, the hidden theme is that
That's not a bad guess.
Animal Crossing is based on child abduction cults.
What?
That's the.
Oh, wait, yeah, I've heard this.
That's the fan theory. So
I'm just sitting here, mouth agape, until it finally just dawned on me.
So when
Again.
you first come to an Animal Crossing, you're in the back of like a
When
cab.
V has come to, when Villager.
When Villager has come to, yeah. First of all, you're a kid, right? You got your rosy cheeked little fucking kid, and you're in the
You look
back.
like you're kind of baked because your eyes are all bloodshot.
Or like you just got chloroformed or something and thrown in the back of Kappin, right? Kapp''N. He's the guy who's driving you. And he's like, I'm dropping you off at your village.
In the original?
In the original, yeah.
Okay.
Kappin. He's like a turtle. What is he? He's like a fucking
He's a
turtle. He's a kappa.
Yeah,
Right.
mythological Japanese creature.
It's a mythological Japanese creature that abducts children.
Oh, he's in this one too.
I thought so. I don't know much about New Leaf, but this is at least as far as the original goes. So you start off, you're a little kid, you're being brought to this place by a guy who is named after a mythological creature that abducts children. And if you ever read up on Scientology or mind control cults, what they do is they basically instill a sense of indebtedness in you. What's the first thing that happens when you get to your town in Animal Crossing? Tom Nook shows up and says, here's your house. You live there. By the way, you owe me 40,000 bells. And so right off the bat, you're stuck here. And you say, if you want to say, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go. You walk over to the gate of the town. You see that little gatekeeper guy and you say, I want to leave. And he says, you can't leave. The mayor's always watching you. So right off the bat, you can't leave. You're in debt. You're constantly being watched. Okay?
I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah, dude, it's creepy. It is a very creepy concept when you really think about it. And what do? You work for this one guy.
He's such a prick.
He's more than a prick. He's a fucking mind control master who's trying to just turn you into his slave. You work for the town. You work for him. You pay him so that you can pay off of the debt that he didn't give you a choice in whether or not you would incur. You just showed up and he said, you live here now. And you can't say, I want to leave or I don't want to live here. You have to live there and you have to pay off that debt. And what happens when you pay off that debt?
It just feels like
More debt.
That kind of just feels like real life.
Sort of. Maybe we're all being mind controlled.
I didn't want to live here, and I just have a bunch of debt.
I mean, there's already a house like waiting for you. You know what I mean? It was as if they were all waiting for you to get there just so that they could indoctrinate you into their village. And what do? You just become a villager. You just ingrain yourself in this sort of system. But by the time that you like it, you know what I mean? You've already done all this work and you're invested in it and you feel like you're a part of it, but you don't question your origins or how you got there. That's how this stuff kind of works. That's how Scientology works. They get you, and then they get you to the point where that's your new normal. And that's what happened to the villager in Animal Crossing.
Right. And that's why in this one they made you the mayor so you wouldn't be thinking that anymore.
Maybe, but maybe
Throwing
that's
you off.
like you're the mayor, but you still live in a tent.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. It's like
Tom Nook's still pulling the strings,
He's
dude.
fucking with you
He's
so
shadowy.
bad. You're right.
Well,
dude.
there's
I'm
also
convinced.
there's also the thing that appears on TV. I think it's in the original Animal Crossing. I don't know. One of them at 3:33 a.m. If you like in real life, if you turn on your game at that time and turn on the TV, basically like what looks like your typical like extraterrestrial alien head, like the weird big head with the big eyes, except so this black form is on your TV among static with big red eyes, and apparently like it plays like a weird sound at you for like a short amount of time, and then that's it. And there's no explanation. There's no reason for it to be in there. It's just in there because it's the aliens are running this cult to study humans. They're all just humans wearing animal costumes.
Yep.
And Animal Crossing is really scary, and I don't want you guys playing it anymore.
You should get it. Chris, can you do me a favor?
Sure thing, buddy.
Can you shut the window behind you? I feel like we're picking up some interference.
I was gonna say that I would check tonight at 3:33.
Let me see if
See
it
if
was
it showed up, but I don't probably have a fucking TV because I don't have a fucking.
No,
tent.
it wasn't even that. Your mic's making a little interference noise. It's not noticeable, really, but
Could it be from like the phones or something?
no. It's fine. I don't think it's a big deal.
It's a ghost.
Moving on.
Go.
Animal Crossing
Well,
is a great game.
that's a good.
We've basically we've segued, I think.
It's a good segue, yeah, into our what we said we were going to talk about at the end of last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is spooky theories and spooky
Urban legends.
urban legends in video games.
What's up, Steve?
I was thinking
What's
maybe
up,
we should
Steve?
just do like one or two, and then do like a couple next episode.
Keep it going. Keep it spooky
yeah,
on
we don't
one.
have to
Because I'm
them all.
saying, or like do like a couple and then do a couple next time because like we have some Twitter stuff we should probably
Right.
get
And
to.
we're already at an hour.
Yeah, so I figured we
definitely.
could probably kind of deep in. Don't want to be
Okay.
spending like another hour on spooky stuff and then like half hour on.
I already said two of mine
questions.
anyway.
Steve's basically saying, I'm trying to go to bed at a reasonable
Well,
hour.
I'm just saying.
I'm
trying
with
to
you,
not
buddy.
Post another 2.5 hour
You know, I know.
podcast. They take a while. So let's just do a couple.
Okay.
Save some more for next week. Will be even spookier.
Deal.
Oh wait, and then the week after, even spookier.
Much
So
so
stay
Obstacles for Halloween.
tuned for the spookiness.
Let's see here. So there's no shortage of these fucking.
I'm sorry,
things.
Joe. Did you just turn into a snake? What was that?
Yeah, it got really spooky. Oh, I sounded like the Joker in The Dark Knight where he goes, chaos.
All right.
You know what I'm... Do you
So-
guys remember that?
No.
You don't remember that scene?
Never heard of it.
And what?
In The Dark Knight, where the Joker says chaos, and he sounds really funny. And he says, chaos.
No, I don't.
Yeah, that was like my favorite part of that movie.
Steve, what's your favorite line of that movie?
Two guys on the roof.
One more time.
What did you
One more time.
Two guys on the roof.
Some cop. What does he just yell
It's not a
at?
cop.
What does he
It's
do?
one of the guys who were breaking into the bank at the beginning of the
Oh,
movie.
at the very beginning? Yeah,
Yep. Two guys on the roof.
yeah. That's what he said.
Yeah. They're going over the whole plan. That's part of the plan.
It's like
Two guys
written
on
in. He's like, yeah, we know. We're here.
All right.
It's great.
Dill.
That line.
Lay it
Favorite
on
line.
me.
You guys ever heard of the arcade game Berserk?
No.
Berserk?
You ever heard of the anime Berserk?
No.
What about the Eminem
Doesn't matter.
song?
Berserk?
What about the status effect?
You guys
in multiple
are, you guys are
RPGs?
going berserk right now.
Isn't that a warrior thing? And
Yeah.
WoW? Yeah.
All right,
Usually a
Dylan.
warrior
All right,
thing
Dylan, lay it on us.
because of the berserkers.
Berserk is just an arcade game, a simple shooter arcade game. What's unique about it, and this is actually true, which is the scariest part, is the Hey,
No,
Steve.
I was just.
The main boss. His name is Evil Otto, right? And he's a smiley face. He's just a fucking smiley face, right?
Don't like that.
Yeah. If anything, like, it should be sad face or mean face because
Yeah.
he's the boss. But no, it's a smiley face because he's just fucking taunting you. And he just moves around and he can move through walls and he can hit you. And so basically, in arcades, the idea was always a high score, right? So one kid, this is real. These are, I can't remember the names. I'll Google it after. This one kid got the high score all time on Berserk. Got to Evil Otto and played on. That's how you get the high score, is you avoid this final boss for so long, and then your score racks up, and it's basically until he kills you.
High score.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Except in this case, this kid got a high score, right? Got the high score, steps away from the arcade machine. Yep. Has a heart attack, dies.
What?
Died. You know what his high score was? 16,660. That's a true story.
Yeah, was he like severely overweight and
I don't know.
unhealthy?
But a year later, some kid broke it. Some kid broke that record.
Died.
Took a step away, died.
Shut
On the spot,
up,
cardiac
dude.
arrest. These are real people with medical charts. That's a real thing. These people actually died.
Shut
And
up.
if they had a pre-existing heart condition, then perhaps they were focused so long on avoiding Evil Otto, this
Yeah.
fucking smiley
There
face.
must be some weird element of like physicality, like mental strain that goes into this. That like
Yeah.
maybe for them was putting their body in such a
state-
state that
yeah.
they went into cardiac arrest.
Like we were talking about how your body can't tell the difference between fight. Like it goes into fight or flight no matter what. If you're playing a video game or if you're running from the cops. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. His body was being put
Maybe
under all
it's
that
just
stress.
a haunted game.
You also don't know how long they were playing because it just says, "Oh, they got the high score." They could have been there for fucking 8 hours, just playing
Just
this
like,
game
yeah, like
over and
drinking
over and
meatballs
over
out
and
of a
over
cup.
again. Not doing anything.
Been there.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it was just like if there was just like one person stepped up to it, played it, and died, that would be extra freaky. But it's like they were probably there all day, pulling
Weird.
in quarters, eating shitty food.
Yeah, that's what I'm
rubbing
saying. Like,
sauce on the nipples.
I'm sure
Like,
their
I'm sure
habits
standing
weren't
in one
helping.
position
that.
for that long isn't good. Playing that one game.
How did you find that? How do you
The
know it's
internet.
Yeah, but like, what are your sources? How do you know it's true?
I don't remember. I didn't write it down.
We don't need him to check his
But
sources. Just
it
believe
is-
it.
Cite your goddamn sources.
Well, I'll just keep googling.
No, I'm kidding. I believe you. That's really fun.
So that's one. There's more arcade ones. There's that game
really creepy one.
Polybius.
Yeah,
or
that's what I
whatever.
was thinking of.
That one's odd because no one knows if that's legitimately an urban legend.
What game is
There
it?
was this game, I believe it's called
Polybius or something like
Polybius. Yeah. It was around in the mid 80s, and the lore surrounding it is that it was in arcades for a short period of time, and when it was, you could see like men in suits going and collecting data from it every so often. That's my first red flag for like that's kind of sounds like bullshit because if people are trying to be like secretive about
Yeah,
it,
the fuck just we're gonna dress like
Yeah.
FBI Men in Black.
I know.
We're gonna come in here and we're gonna gather our data. Nobody talk to us. We're incognito. No, just dress as like shitty teenagers. Like, hey, fellow kids. Like,
What?
the thing is it
Now we know what Chris does on the
Hey,
weekends.
fellow kids.
it was said to cause
It's not very normal.
Oh, in my van with me for a minute.
fellow kids.
all right, Bill. Sorry.
that's all good. It was just said that it would give you it would give people like night terrors. You know, they would stare at it for hours and then wouldn't be able to focus on anything else, and it would constantly be going on in their thoughts. It disappeared out of arcades. No one knows what happened to it or where it went, and the game is not around. People have emulated it, what they think it's like, but the actual game itself. Actually, it had like a. I'm gonna look this up. It had like a really creepy sort of publisher name too, but people have really tried to remake it, and they made their own cabinets for it and stuff like that. But no one knows what the actual game looked like or was actually how it played.
So what is the scary part? I
That
don't
people
understand.
suffered from amnesia and night terrors and stuff, and about a month after its release, people say it disappeared without a trace. That's an actual. No one knows where it is, and there's no evidence that the game existed.
Like people said, it was like the government doing like psychological testing on people to see if they
Right.
could like pass a certain like
That's the conspiracy. Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
is that it was?
I buy that actually.
Yeah, and it was. Let's see, it was from a company called. This is a German word, Sinneslotion. So it means something weird. If you, I think it means like deprivation of the senses, something like that. I guess I don't know if they made more games. If you Google that word, it just brings up all like the Polybius stuff. But that's like a more well-known one. It means like deleted senses. So as if when we get to amnesia and stuff like that, yeah, it's kind of eerie. But no one just because it disappeared without a trace means that everyone can then tack on all of this
Bullshit.
creepy shit to
Yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah. But that's okay. We're not here to try to disprove the
Debunk
spooky.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Just spreading the information.
Another one that's
Spreading the rumors.
another one that is real, that's really creepy, is the Sega CD hidden message. Have you guys heard of that at all?
No.
No.
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
Steve, can we get a yes or no?
Oh no, I'm not sure. I mean, I had one, but I don't remember.
You had a Sega CD?
Or Sega Saturn, whatever
Oh, wow.
it was. Yeah, remember? I played Croc on that.
Did you play the Zelda game?
You had Croc on that?
Yeah, that's
I
what
had
played
Croc on PS1.
on. No,
Y'all
I
remember
didn't play
Croc?
PS I didn't play it on PS1.
the Zelda game wasn't on Sega CD. That was
CDI.
on,
Yeah.
Philips
Yeah.
CDI.
Oops.
Okay. We'll save Croc for another podcast.
The Croccast.
the Croc
yeah.
cast.
Croc
So
is
this-
sick. I love Croc.
This was on the Sonic the Hedgehog CD. That game. So
You-
I guess
you have a Sega CD, right?
I did. I don't have it anymore.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I could never get it to work because when I got the Sega CD, I only had a 32X, which it wasn't compatible with. You needed the first or second generation.
Okay.
Is that what it's called? The 32X? No, the Genesis 3. Sorry. That was like the third generation Genesis. 32X was another expansion thing that you could put on to play 32-bit games, which failed miserably.
I went
Same
from an NES to Sega Genesis to PS1, and then it was just PlayStation from then on.
That's a pretty normal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not bad.
just Nintendo, Sega,
thing.
PlayStation.
Evolution. Oh.
Yeah.
So what this is there was some sort of like sound test in the game, and if you hit a certain combination of buttons, you would be brought to some screen with the words in Japanese. If you translate the words, it says something to the effect of, should have brought this up because if I was more professional, I would have. It says, fuck, what is it? It's like having fun is infinite with Majin. Like, and then Majin is like a Japanese
Like
word.
Majin Buu.
I don't know. Does that translate to Satan? 'Cause
Dragon Ball Z.
I've been,
I mean, I bet it does.
I've been told that translates to devil.
Yeah.
So this is an actual thing. If you just Google Sega CD hidden message, you'll find it, and it plays this really, really creepy music along with it. That's almost like very unbearable to be around. And it's that one really like unsettled me just because someone put that in there, whether or not it's a spooky message or not. it has like almost no context, and it's just like how did people figure out that random combination of buttons? And then you know what I mean, it wasn't like now where you could Google that. This was Sega CD. This was the 90s. Someone just figured that out, and then word must have spread, and then some programmer put that in there with the, you know, who knows what the intentions were. Maybe it would never be found or what, but it was found, and I don't know. That shit was creepy, I thought.
That's
So-
very creepy.
And the only other one that I came across a lot.
Play
of
the
them.
music.
Play the music? All right,
Yeah.
hold on, let me find it. The only other one that I came across was not so creepy, but this theory that Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, you probably heard this, Chris, that the whole thing is just a VR mission for Solid Snake.
What?
So, all right, so the game
Mind
starts,
blown.
right, and it's Zero talking to Big Boss. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Zero talking to Naked Snake.
Yes.
And he says, we're going
At
to
the time, he's still Major Tom.
Right. He says, we're going to send you on a virtuous mission. And Naked Snake goes, a virtual mission? And he says, no, Snake, a virtuous mission. So right off the bat, sticking the possibility in your
Yeah.
head. Virtual mission?
I was
Right.
just virtuous because of like Snake, Adam, Eva,
Oh, of course.
all that stuff.
But
Shagohod, of course, the biblical
Right.
Shagohod.
But Snake himself says, wait, a virtual mission? What are you talking
Ah.
about? And if you go through that game and you kill Ocelot, right, you get that message, time paradox.
Yes.
Right? So if you die under normal circumstances, Zero will do the whole snake,
Yeah.
right? If you kill Ocelot in the time paradox screen comes up, Roy Campbell is the one who says, damn it, Snake, you've created a time paradox. So,
You know, if you die normally and you wait long enough, it says Snake is dead. The letters slowly start to change, and then it says time paradox.
right, yeah, right. But if you kill Ocelot right off the bat, it just says time paradox.
did not know that.
And Roy Campbell is the one, he's the voice who says, you know, Snake, you created a time paradox. And Roy Campbell is your codec contact as Solid Snake. Right. So the idea is that this may have just been a VR mission for Solid Snake because what is he besides the continuation of Naked
I
Snake
think that
and
there
Big
might
Boss?
be further evidence for that, and I can't talk about it.
Ooh, cool. I like
So-
that. I like that. We'll leave it at
I
that.
think that there might be some clues in other installments. So yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah!
Hell
I didn't
yeah.
know that. That's really cool.
Want to hear this creepy music?
Sure.
All right,
Yeah.
let's see it. Hopefully this works.
Sounds great.
Yeah, sounds awful.
This isn't
That's
creepy.
Sonic music.
Right. Then this is the sound.
Oh.
This is the sound test. You perform your series of buttons and shit.
Not hearing it.
It's not playing yet. Yep, it's doing the sound test. So basically, what it is it's like a light blue screen with some Japanese characters in it. And then that plays. Still
Sounds
isn't
like
the screen
Mario
yet,
Party.
but it keeps kind of like looping. And this is it.
It sounds like Metroid. Not anymore.
Sounds like John Hack music, Steve.
Or Mortal Kombat or something.
Oh, it says, it translates to, it's Japanese characters, it translates to Infinite Fun with Sega Enterprises, image by Majin, and then M-A-J-I-N, which is supposed to translate directly to Satan. So, Infinite Fun with Satan, and then this music. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
that's fucking weird. Turn it off.
Does sound like Don Hack music though.
Yeah.
No, I want to play Don Hack.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
I got. All right. I'll go next.
Why don't
I
you
guess.
just do one?
I'm gonna do
then-
two. It's not even ones that I looked up. They're just two that I
I'm just saying
have.
because like we gotta answer all that fucking Twitter stuff.
Okay, I'll go quick.
We
So.
don't have to get to all of Twitter. We can
Well,
get-
do some of it.
Right, we can say some. Okay. In Shadow of the Colossus, you play as a character. They call him Wander. That's what the players call him. He's never really officially named. He rides across this bridge on a horse with a girl who you quickly find out she's dead. He rides into this old temple, into what is called the Forbidden Land, and he is trying to resurrect her because we don't know what happened, but she died. Just this for anybody who hasn't played Shadow of the Colossus, doesn't know the premise. You are then unleashed upon this world as the player, You ride around looking for the 16 colossi to defeat them and get closer and closer to your goal of resurrecting this girl. You basically like make a contract with like a big spirit voice thing who talks to you and he's like, "Go kill these things." Blah, blah. That's exactly what he sounds like, guys.
I can confirm exact voice.
Dorman, which is Nimrod backwards, which is like the god of destruction in some language. There's a lot of complicated lore already written into Shadow of the Colossus that you have to.
Anti-mutant dude in X-Men comics.
Oh, you have to see.
Also a Green Day
Robot. Also a Green Day album.
Also a Green Day
all
album.
our bases here. It's a Green Day album. It's whatever Chris said.
Yeah.
It's the mutant killing robot.
So I'm not even going to get into like the story that is sort of hidden within Shadow of the Colossus, but as you know, Dylan, anybody who's played this, Steve, the game is big and it's beautiful, but it's empty, and that's what part of like the mystique of it. Part of the beauty is that I'm empty inside. That there's basically nothing in this land. It's called the Forbidden Land, and it's like it's empty. There's just these giant monsters and then like a turtle and a bird and like whatever. But the tower that you start off in, the temple. When I was playing the game, as many other people did, heard the rumor that you could climb to the top of this tower somehow. You could climb up this tower, but it's not immediately obvious. It's in like a shadowy corner. You can climb some moss, but then you can't get very far because you run out of stamina and you fall off. And that's not what this is about. Eventually, people figured out a way. I figured out the way. When you have enough stamina and you have enough skill, you can climb up the side of this tower and get up onto the top of it where there's a garden. And the character basically accesses this area when the game starts. Wander rides across the bridge and that garden is like right there. Then he goes through the doors and the doors close behind him. So now he can't get up there. But yeah, when you climb up, you go up into this garden. There's fruit up there that you eat. And normally in the game, you like pick out fruit from trees and it raises your health. These are basically forbidden fruit. This is basically the Garden of Eden. When you take fruit out of it, you eat it, your health goes down. And not like it damages you, like it lowers your overall health, so you have less health. And I would like to talk about the theories of the end of the game, but I don't want to spoil it. It's still a game that people might want to check out. It's a very impactful ending, so I don't want to screw with that, even though it's 10 years later. However,
maybe we can have a spoiler cast, just me and you sometime. Or you
Yeah.
played it too, Steve.
we'll talk about
you, Joe.
we'll just talk about old games.
We can just do a spoiler cast for like a bunch of different things.
Yeah, we should. Ooh, I
Like
punched
a
the mic.
special episode, which is like, hey, we're gonna talk about spoilers. And
We'll just
things
list
that we
off the games that we're going to go through. And okay, so I wanted to clarify all that. There was a secret in the game that you could get up into this tower. It turned out that you could get up into the tower, find these weird fruit, but it's this giant open area with lots of interesting things. It's very pretty up there. It looks like you can climb up further than you really can, and I always tried to climb up further, thinking like there's got to be a way to get to the very, very tippity top of this tower. There's probably something you can see up there, something you can find up there. There isn't. As far as I'm aware, I've spent hours and hours and hours as a kid trying to do this. Not possible. There's a giant wall that looks like it's like partly glitched at the top, so I always thought that a Colossus was supposed to break through it, and like it was glitched because the cutscene would start and whatever. That was never the case. But I did find something really, really weird. So in PSM, PlayStation Magazine, I believe, it came with a Shadow of the Colossus demo. And I played this at someone else's house before or after I had already done just about everything in Shadow of the Colossus. I was just like an obsessed weirdo at somebody else's house being like, I want to play that game. So I put the demo in and I'm like, let me see if I can still like do the glitch to climb up the tower, because you can get enough stamina to do it, or there's a little cheat way to do it by like resting in a weird spot. And so,
Which you can only do in the demo.
Yeah.
You can't do it in the real game.
yeah, you can't do it in the HD remake. You can do it in like the
HD
original
remake,
PS2
that's right.
version. The HD remake, you can't do it. So I do it. I figure out how to climb up to the tower. I think I died once on my way up there. You get to the top, you climb up, and you're basically on a staircase that then curves around the side of the tower, which leads to the entrance of the garden. So I'm jogging up, like, fuck yeah, I did it. I'm so cool. I wonder what the garden looks like in the demo, because there was some things that were different. Things were clearly like tweaked before the game came out. And I'm running up the stairs, and then I just stop, because right in the entrance to the garden is just a headless girl with her arms outstretched, like in the T-pose, like that they would have, you know, when you're designing a game, or like, I don't know, a person hanging on a cross would just standing in this T-pose with no head. And I'm just like, what in the absolute fuck is this? And I think her name is Mono. I think that's the name of the girl in the game, the dead girl in the back of but she isn't missing her head in the game.
Like,
I know, yeah, it's because
I'm like, oh shit, we forgot that it was in there.
it's just a character model that I think that they moved out of the way
Yeah.
for the
left it
demo,
there.
and that was that. But getting up there, because you clearly aren't supposed to. It's a demo. Nobody's going to be playing that demo who knows how to get up there, presumably. But when I remember rounding that corner and just seeing this headless girl with her arms out, and she's wearing like a white gown, it's like Grudge, like ghost shit. It was horrifying. And then so I'm like, holy crap, okay, dealing with that, kind of figure it out. I know the T-pose that the developers use to make games and stuff, or to make character models. And so I go into the actual garden. Eventually, you can just like walk through her, and it shows that there's like stone blocks in the back of the garden, positioned in such a way that you can climb them. Then you'd be there's like an invisible wall before you even get that far. In the real game, you can get to those blocks, but one of them is moved back up, so you can't climb it. It's too high to climb, and it just like makes me wonder like what could have been up there, what even potentially is up there, what unfinished thing maybe is just sitting up there that they never.
Just a bunch of headless models there.
Just a bunch of headless models.
We don't know how to delete those. We're just moving them up and up and up.
For all we fucking know, probably.
Well, that was like I think Burning Crusade era or Lich King era WoW. Mount Hyjal, you was inaccessible. You couldn't get to it. But
Didn't
I made a private server one time. I found out how to make a private server, which was relatively easy. Followed through with it. Gave my character like basically god controls to be able to just, you know, I don't know if I made it so that I think I made it so my character himself could fly. And I flew over the, you know, the canyon or the I guess like a caldera. It's kind of like it's that what it's called, like when a volcano explodes and there's
very
something
specific,
inside.
but yes.
Yeah, I think it's a caldera. You fly over the mountain and it's like a fully encapsulated zone, all completely done, like finished. It was like an actual environment in the game that was completely inaccessible. It had roads, it had landscapes. It was fully textured. It was fully I don't know, like you could walk on it. It was just this hidden thing in a game that you just couldn't get to. So who knows if there's something like that in Shadow of the Colossus. That would be the kind of game where there would be some sort of inaccessible zone that you could probably never get to.
The only thing is with WoW is they probably thought ahead, like, oh, we'll use Mount
They'll
Hyjal
patch
for,
that in.
like either an upcoming patch. It's in the game now. You can go do it for something, I think.
Right.
But
Yeah, I remember.
Plus,
I remember
the other
you.
thing with WoW is you fly over stuff like that all the time. You need to have
Exactly.
something there, or else it's gonna
The
be like,
second they
"Oh,
added,
there's nothing there.
The second they added flying mounts, kind of.
Well, not even that, but I'm just saying, like, when you take a flight path, sometimes
True,
some flight
yeah,
paths cut
yeah,
over the
yeah.
place like that. You can't just have.
though? I don't think you did.
I don't remember. Maybe
Maybe
you might
it's
have.
possible within distance, that like a draw distance would
Yeah,
need to
like
load
you
it.
wanna
Right,
be able to see
exactly.
it,
Not to
so
the
you
point
Like
where
the
you can
edges
see.
of it, and it technically exists within the world. So
Well, and they did have a little, like, I think a white picket fence where it said under construction in game, like when you
Yeah,
went
I remember.
there.
I
That was
remember
a thing.
seeing that. I
So
remember
they
you
did
showing
plan
me
on
the
using it
screens.
eventually, so that's
Yeah,
why it was there.
they probably-
but it was still cool to experience that.
They
And
probably knew people were going to exploit it and see it somehow.
there was also the WoW exploit where, in Ironforge that we did
Yep.
with the polymorph. Three of
Yeah.
us and even you.
Oh my
Chris,
God.
like,
Yeah, I remember that.
there's a lot of. There's a lot.
Yeah,
of
you
creepy
did.
Yeah, you did.
At the time we did it, you did. I don't think you needed it
Yeah.
anymore. Either that or they just took it out.
There's a lot of creepy
But I
shit in
remember
that
I
game.
was the one polymorphing because I was using.
You guys hear the?
my mage.
Remember the 5 children in the Elwyn Forest?
Yeah.
Sir-
Oh, the crystal. They are on the Crystal Lake.
Yes.
No,
They're
I
in
don't
a-
remember
They're
that.
in a pentagram.
That's right. They're these 5 kids in the shape of a pentagram, and they appear at, I think, 7 a.m. server time, and they appear at Crystal Lake, and they walk in a perfect pentagram, like symmetrically, from Crystal Lake all the way up to Stormwind every day, 7 a.m.
I don't know if I
server
ever
time.
noticed that.
I didn't notice that.
And
I
they,
never had
look
either.
that up. That's creepy.
Their names, I think, are references to something too, like maybe characters from Friday the 13th or something. I think.
That's funny. There was a lot of weird shit like that in Warcraft.
Yeah, we could do a
Especially
whole episode
playing on a
that.
private server and looking at that yourself and like being on GM Island.
Right. No, you couldn't get to GM Island.
I know. I was
It was
joking.
impossible. That it does exist though.
that's definitely real, man.
I'm gonna do one last one just because it was the
Go
one that
for
I
it.
said I was
Go
gonna
for
do. But real quick, Fumito Ueda, creator of Shadow of the Colossus, he says that there's still something in the game that people haven't found.
I love that.
He said that like last year, so we'll see. No one knows.
It's just a giant dick.
It's just a huge.
It's just a picture of him.
It's
just
a
giving
picture,
up the
yeah,
finger.
Yeah. It's him sticking his middle finger like through the fly of his pants, flipping
Yeah.
everybody off.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Just laughing.
Yeah.
Like, you spent so long looking for
That's
this.
why. That's
all
why the
it
Last
is.
Guardian's been taking so long because Sony found out about it and they're like, "Really, dude? Really?"
Like, we have to go through the whole game to figure out you didn't put this in, put something else
Yeah.
in the Last Guardian.
Yeah,
now.
that's what Eco's horns are. They're just
Just his middle finger.
yeah, yeah. So what I was gonna we talked about a couple episodes ago. Steve, you brought it up, I think, and I feel like I have to say it. Squall's dead. That theory, because as I say every episode, Final Fantasy VIII is a big game for me. So this is a popular theory that I found out about years ago. I've never bought it.
No.
And I don't think that it's
not true.
It's not true. And that's why I was going to go further into it and just like read from the website and get like the full details. But I'm just going to do, it's a popular theory. If you search urban legends or creepy theories for games, Squall's dead, it always comes up. So the basic idea is in Final Fantasy VIII, you play a Squall. He's a mercenary. He goes to a mercenary school. He graduates and is sent on his first mission. Before this, he has his rival, Cypher, who's just like, they're kind of like begrudgingly, like, they're friends. They're not friends, but like they've known each other their whole lives. So there's like this sort of relationship. They're rivals. Classic anime video game kind of thing. And it also happens that this girl, Rinoa, she admits at one point how she was in love with Cypher, Squall's rival. At the end of Disc 1, they confront the sorceress Adia, and she launches an icicle at Squall in a cutscene. It strikes him in the chest. Everybody freaks out.
Maybe.
Well, yeah,
You don't actually see where it hits him.
it's true.
From an
I think they
awkward
just didn't
angle.
want to animate it. But I'm going to get to that in a second. So, for all purposes, intents and purposes, this hit him in the... Ooh, I punched the mic. Okay, cool. So this hits him in the chest. He falls off. You see Rhino screaming, like, reaching down for him. And then that's that. End of Disc 1. Please insert Disc 2. You insert Disc 2. He plays Laguna for a little while, who's like this flashback character. It's technically Squall's dad, spoilers. And then Squall wakes up, and he's in a prison. And the first thing he does is say, "What happened? My wound. There's nothing there. Like, I'm fine." So that's where
Almost like where you have like, cure spells.
almost
healer
as if
spells
we
with.
have cure spells, because, well, okay, again, all right, so that's where this theory is born, where he's struck through the chest, he wakes up, and he doesn't have a single scratch on him, and he doesn't know why. So the theory is that this is Squall's, like, it is his fantasy, quite literally his final fantasy,
Which
his like brain, like, spelling out like what his life could have been, his fantasy of what life could have been before he dies, because at this point his rival becomes the sorceress's knight, becomes like the big bad guy. The girl who liked his rival, that Squall basically had a crush on, falls in love with Squall instead, and all of these
Preposterous.
yeah and all of these things just come together. That's like, oh, that seems a little bit too convenient. He becomes like the leader of his mercenary school, and like all of these things that just didn't seem like necessarily possible. There's flying cities and crap like that. So everybody's like, the game gets crazy after Disc 1, where Squall should have died. And at the very end of the game, there's flashes of images. All of them are from Disc 1. All of them are from cutscenes that happened when he was quote-unquote alive. But the reason that the theory is stupid is just like, people always say like, oh, the look on Adia's face, like, I don't know, this is some weird bullshit. But he's not, magic works in that game.
Yeah.
Unlike in
potions.
Yeah, unlike in Final, the other Final Fantasies where...
Phoenix Downs.
Yeah, where basically, yeah, in other Final Fantasy games, they can't bring Aerith back to life with a Phoenix down because she died in a cutscene.
Yeah, but she dies for a reason.
Right. But in Final Fantasy VIII, basically magic and items and stuff exist within that world. It's a world that is an RPG, essentially, because they show, like, Selphie is using Cure on a Moomba at one point. So, and it heals it. So if somebody throws an icicle through your chest, it's an icicle, it's a magic spell, so they can heal you of
There's
it.
got a couple things wrong with that.
I know she brings Squall back to life with the Phoenix down, basically, at the end of the game, so...
Yeah. All right, so first of all, why would they decide that this one is an actual Final Fantasy?
Right.
Like, all right, so your first 7, they're not anybody else's Final Fantasies in those games, but 8 is actually Squall's
the
Final
one.
Fantasy.
It's the one.
The shitty one.
2, do you not like Final Fantasy?
No, I'm just.
I mean, you grew up with it
I like
too.
to talk straight about it because you like it so much.
For a second, I was like, wait a second.
The other thing is, spoilers. Adia is a good guy the whole time, pretty much. So obviously she was just like, I'm gonna pretend to kill him, so that like I can get him.
I
to work
totally
for
think
us.
that because she's under control
But, like,
of
not
Ultimacia,
completely.
but
Yeah.
you see the look in her eyes as she's about to throw this icicle. She recognizes Squall because of spoilers and plot devices and stuff. She knows him. She recognizes him, and I think at the very last second, or at least in her moment, she's like, she throws the icicles, but maybe they're just...
Well, it just hits him in the shoulder. It looks like it hits him in the shoulder anyway in that game.
Yeah.
Hits him in the shoulder. He's like,
And everyone
passes
freaks
out.
out.
Selphie's like, don't worry, I'm good with magic. Boom, healed.
I would like to say, though, that when you get Adia in your party briefly, that's her, like, special attack, is throwing icicles. Just like in the opening cutscene where Squall and Cypher are fighting, they both use their limit breaks on each other. Rough Divide and No Mercy as Cypher's. I always thought that was really cool that they like incorporated the actual skills and like magic and stuff that they use in game with the cutscenes and stuff.
Nice.
So okay, all right. Should we move on to
Yeah, let's do Twitter.
Joe? Do you have something to say?
Unless Joe wants to bust
No,
this
I
out
don't.
now. All right, good.
I just was going to turn the mic
Now
to
you-
me and say,
now you
let's
get
move on
extra
to
time.
Twitter. Extra time for what?
To think of a spooky something for next week.
Oh, the spooky theory.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Urban
I
legend.
don't have one.
or-
I didn't do my homework. I've been
Yeah, good
busy.
job.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, listeners.
It's all right.
Sorry, Dylan.
Nice.
Yeah, we can do some Twitter. We're at 125 right
So
now.
a little bit of Twitter.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
I'm loading up the Twitter now.
Load them up. We'll do a few.
So I just asked for people to ask us questions because I'm lazy. So all right, first one was from. Let me look back. So I didn't have my Twitter up before. From Josh Crow at Morbid Beard. Happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday,
Oh,
Can't say it.
stop, stop.
Actually,
It's legal
it's
now.
no longer.
Yeah, it's not.
covered.
Yeah,
Continue
it's
then.
public domain. Happy birthday, Josh Crow. All right,
So-
I'll stop there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you guys were pissed off about.
You didn't know
So
you
how
couldn't
about
sing
he
that?
asked us like a
'Cause
bunch
it
of
was
questions
copyrighted?
because nobody else was at the time. So maybe I'll let you guys choose from these. I'll read a couple, and you guys can choose which one you want to answer. All right?
Sure.
Okay. So the first question was: any games you love that you know people
All right.
hate? Any games you're better at when you're drunk? Let's see. Any games you're better at when you're hungover? Favorite game of all time? Worst game you've ever played? Game characters you want to punch in the face? Any franchises where you think the sequels are better than the originals? And
Well, that one's easy. Uncharted.
okay, yeah, for sure. All right, which one do you want to answer?
Go, Steve. Well, RC.
What about game you like that other people hate?
I can't even.
Can anybody think of one?
One.
No,
I can.
Okay.
Go, Joe.
Super Mario Land. I'm actually looking at it behind you, Dylan. It was originally for the regular Game Boy. When did it come out? 1988. No, sorry, that was 1989. Yeah, people didn't like it because it was the Mario Land game, completely different enemies. It actually got really bad reviews if you look it up online, but I love that game, and it was probably like the second Mario game I ever played. So that's my answer.
Oh, I can think of one. I liked Perfect Dark Zero.
Yeah.
What was it?
Perfect Dark Zero.
Oh, I like that game too.
Even though I think a lot of people don't like it.
Mhm.
I also just really liked bot matches with 16 bots with
Yeah.
rocket launchers only. It was so much fun.
Unfortunately, yeah, I think some of these answers, it's not just games other people don't like. It's like games that are considered bad.
Right? Yeah, that's
using
what
that
that's
Magnum, though, and fanning
more
that
or less
hammer?
what I was doing.
The whole game was worth it just for that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I have
People
one-
consider Final Fantasy VIII to be bad,
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
and that's basically my favorite game.
I was talking to one of my brother's friends about Final Fantasy the other night, and I asked if he liked 8 because I knew it was your
Yeah.
favorite, and he was trashing
Yeah.
it, dude. He was like, "It's all about 7, dude. 8's the worst.
Yeah,
8's the
best.
worst
It's
one."
also because like 8 is the most broken. You can very easily just break that game by junctioning certain things, and then it's just like you can't lose.
yeah, I have never played
It's
any
like,
of
all
them,
right,
so-
nope, I'm impossible to kill now, and I do 9,900 damage at level like 15.
It's true.
I can't think of any off the top of my head of that, but I can think of the inverse. Games that are widely accepted as good and that people like that I hate. I can't fucking stand GoldenEye. And my whole life I thought that game sucked, and I will stand by it to this day. I get it. It was influential on the genre. Don't fucking care. It sucked. Like I remember being a kid and
Did you ever own an N64?
of course I
Did you
did.
own GoldenEye?
Yes, I did. And actually, no, I don't think I owned it, but I played everyone that I knew
There
had
is,
it.
friends.
I played it.
There
Hold
it
on.
is, ladies and gentlemen. He
Nope.
never even owned it.
Listen, I did rent it and I did play the story mode of it, and that was fun. I enjoyed that. I did like the Mission Impossible game for N64 better, which maybe is a terrible game that I like that other people don't. So maybe that answers that question.
There you go. Yeah.
I've always just thought that that game was completely like goofy. The one joystick thing back then even made no sense. Whenever I was playing it, it would just be a clusterfuck. Maybe I'm just terrible at it, and I'd concede that I was never good at it.
It's a hard game to get good at. I'll tell you that.
I
right
don't.
now.
I'd never felt like I was playing against someone who was good at it. I just felt like I was playing against someone who knew the maps better than I did,
Well,
who
that's
knew
a-
where the guns were.
That's a big part of it.
But there was no like technical skill. I know it was still early, and again, I understand this is like a 15-year-old game
Yeah.
that I don't know if I'm alone in this. Everyone that I meet seems to adore this game, and if you like it, that's cool. Like I'm not saying. I guess I am saying it's a bad game, but you have every right to enjoy it, and I'm clearly in the minority here. But I don't know. I never liked it.
I'm
I think
surprised.
people like it, but everyone likes Perfect Dark better because it's just generally a better game.
I like the 007 franchise more, but
I
the
like-
actual game Perfect Dark is
Yeah.
probably.
I liked Agent Under Fire. I think that was what it's called for GameCube.
No, it was
Nightfire.
Nightfire.
Nightfire,
Yeah,
yeah.
we actually talked about this before. I think
That game, in every way, was better than
It
GoldenEye.
was.
But no one talks about it because it was
because
just,
it wasn't the first Golden
sure, exactly.
or the first 007. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Right.
but
I mean,
I can see going back now and playing it. I actually played it at PAX last year, and I forgot how clunky the controls were.
Yeah,
and it
it's
was a
awesome.
disaster. It was a disaster. But you know, what was it, 98, 99, playing that as
Yeah.
as a youngin', that didn't really matter to me, and I just had fun killing fake
Yeah,
people.
that's what the thing I loved about that game, and is what I spent the most time doing in that game. Is there's that one level where you're in that base, and you go out into the helipad. That's how you beat the level.
Okay. Yep.
You know what I'm
yep.
talking about?
Yep.
Do you know how that you can hit the alarms in the base and it summons guys?
Yes.
So what I would do is I would have the cheat code for infinite ammo and all the guns, and I would just hit that alarm over and over
And
again.
just fucking
and just switch
destroy
up
people?
like dual and shotguns, dual
Dude,
and AKs.
the alarm.
like
Do you remember
thousands.
I can hear the alarm noise in
Yeah.
my head right now. I was like,
But I had
"Wah!"
to be really careful when I was like going through because you can shoot the alarm by accident and
Yeah,
break
oh
it.
my god, yeah, and it won't.
No,
You
but
can't
no,
stop it.
No,
right? Yeah, it's
no,
fucking
it would stop.
brutal.
And you wouldn't be able to fix it. You wouldn't be able to use it.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
I'd have to be
yeah,
like killing
true.
a few guys in there to summon the alarms. So it was just some swarms of dudes, and I would just kill them, summon them again, switch weapons.
My favorite level in
That's all I did, though.
GoldenEye quickly was the train level, without a doubt. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, we'd use the watch to cut
Yep,
the. Oh,
dude.
that's great.
Yes, the laser watch.
It's
cut
probably
the lock
terrible to
off.
do now, with
dude.
back
Oh
thinking
my
about
god, that game was fucking great. I love that game. But moving on.
I wouldn't say it was great, but it was definitely fun back
When
then.
it came out, it was great.
Yeah.
100. Like that game blew people's fucking minds for a good reason. But once the genre, moved on, it was kind of you realize how
Yeah, it was
crappy
left in the
controls
dust. But actually, no, not really at all, because people still love it, and it's probably in
It's nostalgia.
100,000 dorms right now.
People love it because of nostalgia. That's it.
Sure,
It's
I
not
agree.
really a great game. You're right.
See, that's probably the one game I'd be better at drunk. I'm better at nothing
Yeah.
drunk ever.
Because it's just like the controllers are drunk.
the only thing I'm
basically.
better at when I'm drunk is sitting there. Like
I'm good
that's
at
it.
Mario Kart when I'm drunk, to answer
Really?
Morbid Beard's question. Yeah. Oh god, yeah. I get in the fucking zone, dude. I get in the zone when I play that game drunk because I rarely. Let's put it this way: for Mario Kart 8, anyway, the newest one, I've played it sober millions of times. But after a couple weeks of playing it, I've unlocked basically everything because it's not that deep for unlockables. And then it's a party game. You play it with people when you're drinking or hanging out. And usually when we're hanging out playing video games, we're drinking. So I would just get drunk, play that game, and end up being like really good at it. Maybe it's just because the people I'm playing against are really bad. I don't know. That could have something to do with it.
The only game I think I'm better at drunk is Asshole, the card game.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I think maybe just because it like
You embody it more.
yeah, I'm dumbed down so much mentally that
And
like,
everyone else is usually drunk, so
right, or just like an everyday like sober situation, I'm probably in the back of my head like thinking about something or other that's important to my life. When I'm drunk, I have just enough capacity to focus on that card game, and that's like all I'm doing.
Yeah.
But that's again, that's a drinking game. But as far as video games go, not too much.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question that I'm gonna do, if this is cool with you guys, since we're trying to wrap it up, at Coffee Jesus, CJ asked us if we could remake any game, what would it be, and why? Why would you want it? What would you want to see with this game?
You know what? This probably isn't what I would originally say, but since we were just talking about it, it would be GoldenEye, 100%.
I would probably say Perfect Dark, the
Yeah.
original one.
I would use a new engine. I'd use the standard analog controls nowadays, and I would make that
You
game
would
kick
make
serious.
you would
ass.
fix the hitboxes so
Yeah, and I'd make it so you could turn off the inverted controls, even
Oh,
though
God,
I
yeah.
play with the inverted controls because of GoldenEye 007. But yeah,
I
I
used
think
to
that's a
for a
game
while.
that I would remake,
I
100%.
lost that,
And it would be fucking killer online, obviously, because
Yeah, I would do Perfect Dark
multiplayer.
because Perfect Dark's more interesting than GoldenEye to me. Just
Yeah.
because like the guns have alternate
It is a great
fires.
game. I do love Perfect Dark, but
Yeah,
I don't.
can't really think of any other one.
I don't think back as fondly on that as I do GoldenEye.
I have a couple answers, because I've had more time to think about this. Obviously, I'm talking about it again. Final Fantasy VIII. Basically, kind of for like the reasons you guys were just saying, like why it's like bad. Like I can't dispute those things because I can't really see them because I have like my nostalgia blinders on because it's such an important game to me.
Nothing wrong with
But
that.
being able to go in and fix the junction system so that the battle stuff and the magic made more sense and wasn't
Yeah, having to draw
quite
for
as
half an
broken.
hour to
Yeah,
get enough magic.
fixing the
Terrible.
translation and like tweaking the way that the characters are presented. I don't think visually, like the presentation of that, yes, it's a PS1 game. I think it's still presented very well if they just like, remap the textures, make them look pretty and stuff. But yeah, I would more want a better translation, better representation, because I think that there's actually some good storytelling and some good writing in there, and a lot of that is lost in the translation or lost just in the way that it's told, and so people come off the wrong way. Squall comes off as being mopey and emo when, I mean, I guess he probably is, but I think that that's not necessarily the entire intent. It's supposed to be the struggle of a teenager dealing with things that he doesn't have the abilities to deal with. But he's presented in one way and then acts another way, and it's just like, it's kind of contradictory, and I feel like some of that is just with the translation. Another one, random one, Way of the Samurai. I talked about that on another episode, like being able
Imagine, like, if Rockstar made it.
Dude, I'm just thinking. Fuck. All right, I wasn't even thinking of that. I'm just thinking of like even that first basic game where like you go into the mountain pass and there's like a few different sides you can take, and just like being able to choose what you do in this one mountain town, and because that game is it's very rigid and it's very PS2, early PS2. It's like, you know, it's held back. It has a lot of limitations. And I think that there was a lot of really creative, cool stuff happening in it, and I would have loved to see more. But the sequels, I think, just kind of like you can go into like more cities and like walk around more, but it just lost something of like what was special about the first game. Right. The last one I said to you in the car on the way here, dot hack.
Oh yeah.
Big part of like our like middle school years, like our friendship. Basically, we were friends, right? But like that was something that we were like fully on board with. For better or for worse, whether they're good games or not. Like I said to you in the car, how they're kind of grindy. So like going back through those games, it's probably hard. But I think that they tell a really cool story. And I think with like...
And it was a different type of game. I mean, it was like an RPG, but it was
like an action RPG kind of, but like based on an MMO. And like,
yeah, it was more like an MMO in that you gotta like do side stuff and like...
But with a really like strong story. Yeah. You know, that's a story-based game.
I actually have one more that I just thought of.
Yeah. Okay.
Super Mario RPG. That game needs to be remade because I think not enough people have played it. Most people know about it, but I feel like people just haven't really played that game.
Do you just mean like optimized for 3DS, but largely the same game, or do you mean like remade entirely?
Either or, honestly, I would be okay with
these
either.
These are your ideal versions of it.
Right, exactly.
I've got one.
Not some shitty like half-baked remake. I'm
Ocarina of
talking
Time.
Maybe an upscaled version, but
with the jump button for Epona. That's all you need to change.
What is it?
I said Ocarina of Time with a jump button for Epona.
Well, they already
Boom.
remade Ocarina of
Done.
Time for 3DS.
I know, but I said it's just a jump button, so you don't have to fucking spend 4 hours trying to get over that goddamn fence together.
I'm just thinking about Dot Hack, dude. Like, I don't know how many people listening to this have played those games. I don't know how obscure they were.
Wait, what? It's called Dot Hack?
Yeah, Dot Hack.
We talked about this. Episode 3.
We did? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Dot Hack, yeah.
It's like
They're great.
the anime was called
So
like
good.
Dot Hack / sign, and then the first game was called Dot Hack / Infection. Dot Hack Infection.
Diablo 2 is my third answer. Sorry.
Okay. So, but like, just think of that like the hub world. Like, in my ideal version of this, it's going to retain the same like heart of that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's like twice the size
like
of it.
thinking of what that town looked like, but PS4 graphics.
Yeah,
Like
and
like a
twice as big.
reskin and then like tweak
Being
the
an actual
combat.
town instead of like one alleyway and
Yeah.
2 shops.
What generation
That was
this?
PS2.
PS2? You
Yeah.
just said that? Sorry.
And they weren't like exactly AAA games either, you know. There was like sort of just like your mid-level.
How
Are you,
loud
what are
is
you
that
squeezing that on the mic, Joe? Jesus.
my mic?
So yeah, but seeing like, I mean that's like a personal thing. Like for me, like that's something like a fantasy that I would want. Like that game to be remade, to be given all the love and all the technological advances that like it, in my mind, it deserves. Because I mean, basically, it's probably just a pretty mediocre game. But yeah, tweaking the combat, tweaking like the leveling system, so you don't have to like spend so much time grinding and stuff like that. Maybe more variety in the dungeons, but still present that same.
There's so much of it because every place you went had a different type of dungeon. And
Right,
they're all
right.
randomized, I'm pretty sure.
Right. No, they
There
were
certain ones.
but just like maybe slightly different things you do, so not just run into a room, fight enemies. But I mean, that was fun at the time. But yeah, just tell that same story with better presentation. Go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
No, it's all good. In my perfect world, where Konami is a great place to work with wonderful working conditions.
I was gonna say
Is it
Silent
on
Hill.
fire?
I was gonna
And-
fucking say
right?
Silent Hill.
not Silent Hill for me, but a world where Hideo Kojima is still employed by Konami. I would love to see. This may be corny, but a Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 complete remake reboot.
I was so hopeful for that like
Just
2
have-
years ago.
Yes, dude,
Yeah.
just have it come
like
full
that too
circle.
because I'd actually play it.
The thing is, those games we're so far removed from those games, and the story in them is so vague. And the fact, what's up?
Do you want it to be just a regular remake, or do you want to completely?
No, I want it to be like. No, I don't want it to be open world, obviously, because those are like linear experiences. Like a Fox Engine, like more linear style, like Snake Eater type, and Metal Gear Solid 2 of the events at
like
Outer
a fan
Heaven.
service kind of.
Sort of, like not even a fan service. I just think that would be. I mean, it would be fan service, but only because those games are 20 years
They
old.
was basically saying like the Phantom
25
Pain
years
is
old.
filling in the gap, but like for the majority of gamers, there is still the gap of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2
Right.
because they were made available with the subsistence version of MGS3, but they're still not entirely accessible. From what I hear, because
Not
I've
at
only
all.
played the Metal Gear a little bit,
Right.
like maybe an hour, and I never played Metal Gear 2.
because it's so different.
It's so
And
different. And I hear that they actually are pretty good games for what they are.
Yeah,
but that's
right.
not something that's not accessible to
Right.
modern players.
That's kind of a shame, honestly. I never knew
It's
that.
a part of the story that it's like
It's pivotal.
It's pivotal. It doesn't have Metal Gear, like it doesn't have Solid in the name, so it's just sort of neglected. But it's like, no, that is
So
a
did
big
you-
chunk of the story.
Did you guys have to read up on
Basically,
what was
yeah.
covered in that?
Yeah, and it's completely insane because there's so many bosses and they're so ridiculous. And the idea, but that's what's great about Hideo Kojima and the Metal Gear franchise is that Big Boss was just the boss of the first game, and his name is Big Boss. And he created this entire mythology out of this ridiculous character, this completely generic sounding Big Boss. He created the mythology of Metal Gear Solid. Imagine what he could do with all of the other crazy bosses in those games. You could just he doesn't have to be completely spiritual. It can it doesn't have to be completely like exact. It can be like a spiritual remake where you can drop certain things.
Right.
Just take that idea, flesh it out so that it truly does complete this cycle, and then just stop making Metal Gear games.
What if they made it and Kojima wasn't a part of it?
I would play it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd play it, and I just don't think it would be. I think it
I
would.
honestly wouldn't be surprised if that's something like that ended up happening.
I think it would be.
if sales for MGS5 are like fucking through the roof, like I'm assuming they are,
Right. I
they
think
could try to get more people on board to play the earlier ones.
I've
and
said
do a
it
remake.
before that I think they're more likely to make more spin-offs.
That's true,
in the
yeah.
universe.
Yeah.
But
Gray Fox. Bring back Gray Fox.
Would
Gray
you play
Fox,
those
exactly?
though?
Cyborg Ninja
With the
What's
sour
up?
taste that was left in Chris's mouth, Chris, would you play another?
Hey, I
spin-off?
actually changed my mind about Metal Gear Solid 5. I gave it enough time, and then I wrote a thing about it for Dark Insight for their spoiler cast.
Well,
And
would
then
you play a new one?
I don't know.
You would. You'd play it,
Dude,
I think there
we'd
comes a
play
time
it.
where, as like consumers, we have to say no
Okay.
when a company is doing something that you don't like.
And they're clearly just trying
You
to
have
make
to
money.
say no.
Yeah.
You can't be like, "Fuck you, EA. I don't like the way you work," and then buy
Buy all
EA
the
games
games.
like I do. There has to be some point where, like, you know what, Konami, like, I shouldn't have bought in Phantom Pain with what you did. Basically, like, your business practice, everything about this turned really shitty.
But you had to.
But it's like, and then it's like, well, I had the buckle. I need this game.
Right.
Yeah, but you still want to support Kojima because he's still making
Right,
the game.
exactly.
It's
But
not like-
if they make a Metal Gear spin-off,
one, right.
part of
Without
me
him,
is
yeah.
going to be like, well, I kind of want to play that. But
it's
at the end
not
of the day,
good.
like, my life is going to be no different if I don't play
Oh.
that game. Like,
Oh,
just fuck it.
I probably wouldn't play a spin-off. I didn't play Revengeance. I don't care.
Totally different type of... Apparently, I didn't like it because I am bad at character action games. But from people who like that genre, Rising's a really good game.
I'm not saying it is.
Combat was really cool, but I just, like, the story was just like a drawing that I did on my butt.
Yeah.
And took a picture of it.
butt?
Dick butt, yeah.
All right, you want to do one more question?
Well, I think that's all we have because one of them.
Yeah, we'll get
There's a few. One of them from at Darth Shinobi. He asks, or she, I'm not sure, about any paranormal experiences that we've all had. We'll save that. We'll save that. For
Yeah, I
as
was
we
gonna
get closer
say
to
we could
Halloween.
open the fucking floodgates.
So
on that
we're
one.
not skipping over you, Darth.
Yeah,
Shinobi.
we will
We're
get
just-
to
We'll
that.
get to that. Just not right now.
I have a notorious one.
Yeah, sweet. So Vader Van Oden, at Vader Van Oden, one half
Have to
of
add
the
that.
Dark Insight podcast, asked if we've ever played any games that are not meant to be scary, but we found them terrifying or unsettling.
Okay.
Anything? Anything from you guys?
I know that there's something, but I can't think of it.
The only one I can think of was like might be a spoiler.
What game?
It's Gone Home.
Oh,
Gone Home isn't a scary game, but it's spooky
Feels like
enough.
one?
It feels like one.
Okay.
Just saying. If you didn't know that Gone Home wasn't spooky, sorry, but you probably know what the plot point of that game is by now.
I could definitely think of one. I just can't think of one
yeah.
off the top
See,
of my head.
I've been thinking about it since earlier when I read that.
Yeah.
But and I know that there's things I've had those. Silent Hill, yeah. No, I know I've had those moments of being like, "Fuck, this is kind of spooky," but I
Yeah, like,
can't
this is a little bit-
think of anything right now, and I don't know why.
I don't know. I think some of the. Well, I guess this. Oh, go ahead, Steve.
Joey, wouldn't Half-Life 2 be that for you?
I feel like Half-Life 2 is supposed to be spooky
Is
at
it?
certain
I haven't
points.
played it, so
Yeah, like Ravenholm is like
supposed to
the
be spooky?
definition of scary.
All right, then never mind then.
It's very intense,
Sorry,
which
Dylan,
can be
continue.
scary. Yeah, I wouldn't classify it as that.
Some of the earlier Mario games, they're not creepy, but they do have like a sort of like when you look at it objectively, like what the fuck? Especially 3, like what the fuck's going on? You're like,
It's a play.
I know it's a play. And have you heard of the theory or the
Yes.
whatever the fuck that all of the Mario characters are actors?
Yeah.
And that's though they play the role of a tennis player or a golfer or
Right.
yeah. I don't know. That's always the whole like
Well, I
mythology.
explained Plumber's Dream in a couple episodes.
Right, and then there's also the thing from Galaxy 2, I think.
Never played Galaxy
Shadow-
games. I don't know how I haven't, but I haven't.
Hell Valley Shadow people or
Oh
something.
yeah, they like peer over the top of the
yeah, like
stage.
because
Yeah.
you're not used to like when you're trying to not die in a Mario game, you're not really looking around.
Yeah.
If you look at any point on this one stage, you see these like black figures peering over the hills, and people went into the information of the game, found those characters, and they were named, I believe, Hell Valley Shadow Trees. That's what it was. They're not trees, clearly they're people, and they're obviously put there on purpose. It's really weird that they're called it's Hell Valley. Like what? That's creepy.
Yeah,
but
it's a
but the
little
idea is
suspect.
like I think they're supposed to be aliens. Like it's Super Mario Galaxy. Like you're going to another galaxy.
Right.
There's got to be
In space.
something. But I don't know. I've always got like a very sort of eerie vibe.
I'm
from
not
the
even just
games.
saying this because you picked Mario. Sonic always kind of gave me a little eerie vibe,
Really?
especially when the level on the time on the level was running out. In this music would get super fast, especially in the underwater levels.
Yes, when you're drowning.
Yeah, and
Scariest
it was
music ever.
very, very like chaotic, and you'd be like, "I need to get the fuck up to air because I'm
Yep.
gonna drown." And the music would speed up, and you'd like panic, and then you would die. And it would just be like, "Boom!"
I've seen that on a lot of lists of like most nerve-wracking.
Oh
video
god,
game
yeah. When I was
moments
like,
in
dude,
Sonic.
that's part of the reason I didn't play Sonic when I was a little kid because I couldn't handle that.
That's the reason I hate the underwater levels to
I
this day.
could not fucking handle it. Like seeing the water level rising, and me being like, I am fucking gonna die. And then boom, that was it. So that was probably the only thing I could think of. right now.
The flood in Halo, the original Halo, that was a pretty creepy
Yeah,
part. Yeah,
that's
like
true.
isn't creepy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
When you're just like, oh, they're like fucking.
When you've just been
zombie
fighting
things all
like
of a sudden.
almost goofy kind of aliens the whole time,
Yeah.
and
And then
then
it gets real.
you see like all these dead
Yeah.
bodies, and then they literally flood into the room.
and they come back to life.
What
You're
about
like, the
Portal?
fuck?
I haven't
Portal,
played
I
it, but a
guess.
lot of people say that
Yeah.
has some creepy undertones.
It does. I was thinking of saying Portal because there are a lot. I was gonna save that even though for the next episode when we do some more little myths and stuff about the Caroline and Cave Johnson thing.
I gotta
But-
put that's on my list. I'm gonna play that game
But we-
before Fallout comes out.
And there's
Yeah,
also
you can do them
the
both
Yeah, I could
before, in
blow
one day,
through that.
probably.
yeah, maybe.
What's
You
it, like
could.
a 6-hour campaign?
Well, you can't do the second one in one game.
The second one's
Steve,
like
you just
6 or 8
reminded me.
hours. What'd you say?
I had a really scary moment in Fallout 3, long time ago.
That game is scary.
in a wasteland far away. When I started playing that game, yeah, the game definitely has horror elements in it. When I first started playing the game, I had seen a couple of ghouls in the subway when I had like no bullets and like a lead pipe or something, and I managed to take them out. But there was another time where I was like camped out on some ledge somewhere, looking around because it was like the little red dot had appeared on my map, and then I saw someone or something, shot at them, and killed them. And when I came out of VATS, I just kind of heard like, and I didn't know what the sound was, and I'm looking around. I don't even know if that picked up on the mic.
Chris golf claps.
No, but it was just this weird clapping sound, and I turned around just in time to realize that it was the footfalls of a ghoul, or a feral ghoul, just running at me, and its feet were just hitting the ground, but I didn't recognize the sound, so I'm looking around, putting my gun, and I turn around, and the thing just hits me, and I was like, ah! I mean, I killed it no problem because they're just ghouls. Those are no big deal. But holy fucking shit! Just it didn't even sneak up on me. I heard it, but it still scared the shit out of me and it still hit me and like threw me for a loop. It like got me off caught me off guard and I was on edge and like it was a cool scary moment.
That's why, even though it's a travesty, I play those games with no music, just so you can be completely and utterly surprised when you get attacked.
Yeah, that's what I started doing too, because that way, or at least the background music. I would say like something, because like that way it's just like you don't know when you're in battle, because the battle music kicks in. You're like, oh shit, I know when we're all doing a fight. Now you're just like do. Except I had like 8 perception in that game, so I knew where everything was. So, like perception seems like it's a good idea. The other thing in Fallout 3 is the Dunwich building.
Yeah,
going through that
based on the goddamn H.P. Lovecraft story.
Yeah.
Is that? Or what's the vault with Gary?
I don't remember.
Gary.
Or the fucking cannibals.
Maybe?
Vault 23. That's like a huge thing on like Reddit and stuff. It's like a meme. But either way,
That game definitely
My
has a lot
dad's
of
name.
is it Gary? Is it like where everyone has the same name?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't remember which vault it is. Though.
It's
Everyone's name is Gary.
Yeah. There's also the vault where it's like all the election posters are up, but they say like "Don't vote for me." And
Oh
it's like,
yeah. I remember that. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Whoever gets elected overseer
Dies. It's
gets
just a draft.
sacrificed.
Yeah, sacrifice draft. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Those are. I thought that was hilarious, but at the same time, like,
Yeah, that was
creepy
super
and
fucked up.
unsettling.
Yeah.
Definitely meant to be that way.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure.
That's why that game's great.
Yeah.
That's why Creep is great, and you should watch it. See,
I should. Hey, full circle.
You guys all need to watch that fucking movie. And need to
Maybe
text
we
me.
should sit down and watch it.
I will totally watch it again. It is so hard to watch at points. It's like unbelievable how fucking awkward this man is.
Have
Like,
you ever?
It's like a found footage film, so
Oh,
you can
okay.
really like put yourself in the camera guy's shoes, and it's like really, really, really hard to watch.
Have you ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000?
No,
Really?
No.
Any of you?
Yeah.
Not
Okay,
for a long
good.
time.
Yeah. Great concept. It's basically like a shitty movie plays, and these 3 characters sit in the theater, and you can see their silhouettes on like the bottom right,
Yeah.
and they just like commentary on like the movie the whole time and just like riff on it. We should do that. We
should.
A let's watch, as they call them.
I'm telling you right
Sure.
now, we won't talk throughout any of it because it's just like
Maybe we'll watch it and then we'll go through
Dude,
it again.
it's-
We'll just be illegally streaming it to YouTube.
Man, that's
No.
on
What you do
Twitch.
is what they do now is the guy who
great.
does that still does these, but he releases audio tracks, which you're supposed to sync up, watch the movie, then have the audio track play while you do it. Yeah, so we could do something like that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Either way, you guys should watch it. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
there was one more question which actually didn't get answered, also from Vader Van Odin, and it was directed toward you, Joe.
okay.
And
I don't even know what this is. I haven't been on
it's,
Twitter. All day.
Is your mom into gaming?
No.
No.
Oh, because you said that she was listening to the podcast.
Yeah. I've been telling her to check it out. I was like, yeah, listen to it. It's funny because she knows she's known all you guys forever, and she texted me today. I'll actually tweet the picture, the screenshot of the text that I showed you guys, and she was like, yeah, that podcast is really weird. $40 on an action figure? Question mark. And I was like, yeah, mom.
Sorry, Nancy.
Well, I did tell her that it wasn't my money, so
Yeah.
I'm not in trouble. But that's okay. I wouldn't be in trouble
We're
anyway.
about to hit our music at the end here.
I know. I muted it so you won't hear it
alright.
anyway, so I can move that. But they're about to hear it anyway because we should wrap
Yeah,
it up.
let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Thanks so much, everyone, for all the Twitter feedback.
Feedback,
Makes
support.
doing this so much easier.
Stand by for more spooky stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna be spooky all October.
Yeah,
maybe even November.
We're not all.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we can't do like Thanksgiving theme.
Yeah.
We'll
I
do
think-
like what
We'll
shit do you
just,
think? Yeah, we'll get
Go
there.
beat up some native people and take
Oh
their land
God, yeah.
in games.
So, I guess what? Tell your friends. Which everybody already does on Twitter. Tell your friends to follow us on Twitter, so we know who's listening.
Yeah, we don't need to be pathetic about it, Chris.
No.
Follow us on
Well,
Twitter
I'm
at
plugging it.
Podcast Chomp.
Like and leave a review on iTunes if you
That'd be cool.
like us.
If you could.
Yeah.
A few of you have done it, which is really cool.
Good feedback helps everybody.
We've been getting like a lot of really great feedback on Twitter. We love you guys for it.
And we appreciate
But our
that.
numbers are showing that there's a lot more people that are listening. We have no idea who they are.
Like
Yeah.
my mom.
Like your
Right.
mom. So because most of the people we know in real life, I think, are completely ignoring that we do this.
No, my-
so-
Rightfully so.
I had a family at the house the other night, briefly, and my cousin said that he's been listening, and I was like, "Oh, that actually comes to a pretty big surprise. I did not think you'd be listening to my podcast, but he did. So maybe he's showing his friends, friends are showing their friends, and it just the word gets out.
Whatever, yeah.
So either way, thanks for listening. Anybody who is,
Yeah, thank you.
and
Most
feedback
importantly-
is appreciated.
Just keep being yourselves. You guys are beautiful people. You're made out of stars, and you can do anything that you set your mind to.
We covered every joke that we've ever done. So
Pretty much.
What was the
yeah.
other one?
I don't know. Just do it.
Butterfingers.
Hey, Butterfingers.
Giselle.
Hey, Butterfingers, Mario.
0 out of 10, no boobs.
Oh,
Fake
yeah.
sponsors.
Yeah, fake sponsors. There's more.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
All right, last
fake?
episode.
Did I say
Bye.
fake?
They're real
right.
sponsors. They're real.
Oh, this is Steve's last episode. He officially quit.
Yeah, I
so.
quit.
All right, cool.
Once again.
With that,
He's going to video game high school.
enjoy the Frim Fram Sauce's music. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.